guys, when we started, these are industry experts, these are people, successful men and women who have waded the business world and have come out on top. And they are here this morning to guide us in our own paths. And that is what we're here to do today. Without wasting any more time, guys, I know Mr. Richardson took some of our time, but I'm going to give you 60 seconds only. Does anybody have any question for Mr. Richards? You again, no. Anyone else? Just you. Okay. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson, Lawrence. So the first time I read your book, The Entrepreneur Manual, because I'm in the branding industry and I work at our office and everything. So it was giving me nostalgia feeling as you were speaking, because most of what you said here was in that book. And it really blessed me. It's the first time I'm witnessing you speaking. And I have one question. I don't have a question, but one question. I'm interested in the back end. So I want to know, sir, what genre of books do you read? What book did you read that changed your mindset? And what book are you reading now that is improving your mindset? Thank you.
Mr. Richardson?
Thank you very much. Very interesting question. Very, very, very good question, by the way. What type of books do I read? So when I started reading self-help books. Of course, Eat That Frog, Think Big, that's starters. When you start facing business problems, management books. But then, the book that really got me going was a book called The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. That's a very, very powerful and spiritual book. That book is, I recommend it for everyone, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The second book I read, I don't know the name. And I've been looking for that book. I've bought many other books. So interestingly, my friend came to me and I can't find him anymore. He has meant, so it's inaccessible. He reads different types of books, but it was in the corner of a book called Bala Destiny. The book I saw was a story. He goes to the mountain. He's like a leader of his tribe. He goes to the mountain. Every time they say tribe, and he settles. But the man was always going to the mountain alone. So the new leader didn't know how to relate. The mountain like the other person does. And in his quietness, he sat down and he asked the question. He says to God, Lord, I don't know what to pray like the other person. But please, my people are suffering. Please help us. And that singular, sincere prayer, he came down and found that the problem had been solved. When he died, the next man went up to the mountain and said almost the same prayer. And then he said that many times it's not the prayer that matters. It is the sincerity of the heart. The Kabbalah is not there. Boy probably put that book in the cover of another book. I've not found the book. But that was very important to me. It taught me about sincerity of the heart. What book am I reading now? It's a really nice book called by Kate Ferrazzi, Never Eat Alone. You should read it. Really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Richardson. Very quickly, okay, guys, if you still have any questions for Mr. Richardson, please wait till later on. You can meet him during the session or after the session so that he can do justice to them. For now, we have to fire on. We're going to move straight to our third keynote speaker. He's right here, Mr. Rotiba Emmanuel. I'm just going to give a very brief rundown of Mr. Rotiba Emmanuel's profile. So he is a Nigerian-born global leadership and transformation speaker, strategist, and change maker. He's the global president of DYL Global Design Your Life, a global impact organization with active presence in Nigeria, the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and beyond. Through DYL Global, Emmanuel is championing a movement to raise visionary leaders who are purpose-driven, globally minded, and impact-oriented. As a highly sought-after speaker, Emmanuel has delivered transformational talks on leadership, innovation, and organizational growth at leading platforms across Germany, Canada, the United Kingdom, Ghana, and Nigeria. He's inspiring executives, youth, the policymakers, and so on. He is also the Chief Executive Officer of Red Consulting, a leadership development and strategy firm headquartered in Abuja, Nigeria, where he advises top management teams and organizations on leadership culture, transformation, and performance optimization. He's a certified management executive and a proud member of the International Leadership Association, USA. Emmanuel brings a unique fusion of global insight and local relevance. His experience includes serving with the United Nations as an operations personnel with deep involvement in global finance and systems administration, further grounding his global thought leadership. Fondly called REO, Emmanuel serves on the board of several youth-led and impact-driven organizations across Africa and the diaspora. He is a recipient of numerous professional awards and recognitions. Emmanuel is also on a mission to shape the future of leadership in Africa and the world through visionary thinking, purposeful collaboration, and a bold commitment to transformation. Mr. Manuel, I'm going to have to stop here because your CV, as Mr. Richards' own, is also long. So please come up to the podium and let us know and give us what you've got. Round of applause for Mr. Emmanuel, guys. Thank you. 20 minutes.
Hello.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. I think I'll try to work within your time. No problem. All right. Still very much in the morning, right? Good morning, everyone. Let me start. My very good friend, Richard. Nice to meet you again. And my fellow distinguished, highly revered speakers. I know Mr. Ifeanyi for a long time. I've met so much in person, but we've been seeing online. Nice to meet you in person also. All right, good morning, everyone. So I've been given 20 minutes by the accurate timekeeper, so I'll try to stick with it. All right. All right. I've been given Okay. So I've been asked to speak to us about being a global brand, what it means to be a brand. And I'm excited about this particular topic because, first and foremost, everything around you revolves around being a brand. The impact you want to make, the life you want to change, the business you want to bring forth, you want to show to the public or to the world, and every of your impact expressions revolves around the brand. And the question would be, I don't think I didn't use my slides. I think I just have some of my points on my head. It's fine, no worry. So the question is, what is the brand? You might wonder. When we talk about brand, everybody just talk about organizations, brand logos, concept, and the rest of them. But I tell you one simple truth. I always tell my friends, and even some of my clients, your brand is not the logo that you see. Your brand is not the passage of all the expressions you see, probably maybe just online. You are the brand. You are the one the world sees. And why do I say this? It's as simple as ABC. See, people would only follow you when they know what you represent. Even as a business person, as a student, what should you do to build a brand for yourself? I remember years ago, I think I was in Lagos, and I told myself, I have a timeline. these are the things I want to do. These are the expressions I want to have in my world. And I wrote that 5 years plan. And I think Richard has already mentioned a lot already. So maybe you might be hearing some very repeated words already. Because you know, impact is always repetitive anyways. There's always a system already in place, right? So I told myself this, and I wrote down a vision, a goal. And I said, in my first 5 years, this is what I want to achieve. My next 10 years, this is what I want to achieve. I want to work in multinational. I want to work in the international space. But what I was doing at that time was already positioned me already for big things. I worked with ACCA at some point. I worked with a lot of Sage West Africa and the rest of them. And pro bono, it was free. I wasn't paid. And this brings me back to the value of what builds your brand. Sometimes some of the things you do right now, you think you're doing it for free, but you are building a brand unknowing to you. It might be free, but you are building something. As young people, we must begin to live out the brand idea of what the next 5, 10 years should be. And that's what I did. After working for free, giving my services and all, I got an opportunity with one of the organizations I've worked with before. And the call came and said, would you like to work in the UN? I'm like, really? Who would not like to work in the UN? Anybody who would not like to work in the UN? Of course, I will. So I said yes. I said, what was the criteria? Because I was already thinking, am I going to pay to work in this UN? Because you know the way Nigeria is. When opportunities come like that, they'll tell you, drop something first and all. But lo and behold, it was a good one. Oh, you had worked and volunteered with us, done something with us before. So I said yes. Now, I had the mindset of a 10 years. It came within a short space because I had crashed time by giving my service ahead of time. Now, one thing you must realize is nothing goes for free when you serve. Nothing goes wasted when you serve. And that has been my anchor. So I asked myself, what's going to be my anchor in building my brand? What's going to be my anchor in the life I want to live? Service. I held it for, in fact, till date, oftentimes, even for just off recent, I leave most of my pricing in my consulting job to my team. I don't know how to price at some point. But when I knew that I want to be a businessman for real, you know, you have to put some systems and structure in place to ensure this and all. So I told myself, this is the life you want to live. This is what you want to do. So I anchor it on service. I've had clients who say, oh, this is what we want to do. And I said, don't worry, let me step into it. If it's worth it, you pay me. Oftentimes they pay me more than even what I would have even charged themselves. So it's always a bait. So I'm going to give you just maybe 5 tips. I know I have like 10 minutes more on what it is to build a brand, a global brand. One, you must be able to partner with people at global levels. And why do I say so? Partnership should not be seen as just a means. It's a tool, a great tool that amplifies the nature of whatever you are building. And that's worked for me before. The first time I wanted to have my event in Toronto, Canada, I got a partnership. And it paid off. I said, this is what I want to do. I don't mind. Let's share this together. The same thing in Germany. When I said, in fact, this one was even very interesting. Because, oh, thank you. Okay. This was quite interesting. Because it was simple for me. I partnered with this organization in Germany. And I said, I've been going to Germany for more than 6, 7, 8 times. But this was the first time I was doing a very big executive event. I was going to have more than about 200 people. It was high level. And I said to myself, the dynamics of this city is quite different. I've been coming there for global financing projects, working with the EU and the rest of them. So I said to myself, okay, this is what I want to do. I got an organization that was really grounded in Frankfurt. And I said, this is what I'm going to do, this is who I am, and this is how I want to do what I want to do. I don't mind giving you 70% of this value up front. And they said, okay, let's do partnership. And who and behold, I told them, do X, Y, Z, get the client into the hall for me, do all of this for me, and take majority of this proceed. Even with what they had done, it was the $5,000 investment per person. And I needed quality people in the room. And I said, you guys have the profile of CEOs, business leaders in the city. This is what you should do for me. Even after the event, I still came back to Nigeria with more than $250,000 in proceed from what they had done. Now, the question for me is, why would you want to be a CEO alone with nothing to show for? Why not partner and be a co-founder? Cooperate with somebody and have more proceed incoming for you and let it be constant. And that's why a lot of people don't understand that partnership is more than a driver, it's a tool for advancing whatever you do. Now, this is me saying that when you partner with people, they bring in their knowledge and expertise. You bring in whatever you have on the table, and you amplify this gift you have. Because at the end of the day, what do you see? For me, I always see that this is service to humanity. Now, during my conference last Saturday, I said to the audience, I said, if Oville and Wilbur, most of us travel by air. We see some of the great invention. Oh, we see the cloud. We see everything. It's beautiful. But somebody did that. Two persons, two brothers, Oville and Wilbur Wright. And now, you and I are beneficiaries of aviation, of this same gift. It is because somebody did that together and they formed those initiatives. Two is better than one, it's not just a word. It is the real statement that should translate into personal life, into business. So this is my challenge to you today, that when you have the opportunity to partner with people, do that on a great level. Brand is not just a business name. Brand is the goodwill that you have. A good name is better than riches. I can tell you again. If you have a good name, that your name goes forth and they mention your name somewhere and they said, oh, I know him. Oh, no, give him access. Something happened to me sometimes ago with the chief of defense staff retired. And now we have two retired. You know, Lucky Rabo and not the one that just retired, the one before, right? And we had an engagement. And I was to go to somewhere at the defense headquarters. And he actually told me to go meet someone. And when I did mention the name of who sent me, it didn't just give me access. The reception was different. Because the person who sent me had a goodwill. Do you understand? The person who sent me has a goodwill. In fact, he opened the door I didn't even expect to be opened because I was leveraging on the goodwill. Now, in life and in business, in career, you can never take out the power of leverage. This is your biggest and most potent tool that you must hold as an anchor. Leverage. You can't take it out. Because why? People who have goodwill, their name will speak for you in places just by mentioning that name. And sometimes people, they go back to confirm, oh, did you send XYZ person? Oh, yes, I did. He's one of my own. That's all. So when you serve people, you must understand that you are adding to your brand, not just you doing it for free. It may not pay off now, But in the nearest future, one day, somehow, some way, it comes into play. Oh, I know him. Oh, he worked with me before. One of my staff who left the country just recently for Chevening scholarship asked me to give her a recommendation when she was applying. And I did. Jokingly, and she was like, I just hope they give me this thing anyways. I said, you've actually done a lot of things with the foundation. My foundation, actually. I said, I mean, you should get it. When she asked me for the recommendation, when I finished the recommendation, she was like, sir, is this me? I said, yes. It is you. You've done all this. You might not know it. I've taken note of all the good things you have done, and I had to infuse it into the letter. And then she got it. She first closed the email when they sent it to her. And later sent it to me and said, your girl is going to London. I said, this is good. Now, this is what a brand will do for you. It's a goodwill. Never take it for granted. Now, I'll just quickly talk about the perceived personality, the power of perceived personality. Now, oftentimes, the way people perceive you is quite very much important in your growth, in career, in business. Most of the time, recently, I told two of my team in Toronto that I'm coming for my tour next year. And they were so excited. I said, we're going to 7 cities. Now, 3 of the locations we had picked already, the venues are for free. I'm not paying one dime to access this place. This is because there's a perceived personality of the person who is coming. There's a name that has gone ahead that precedes you even before you arrive. That this person who is coming is a good person. 1. This person who is coming is bringing value. This person is valuable. And I often tell people, value makes you valuable. So whatever you do, bring value to the table. So it's not just about brand. Oh, I see people doing a lot of emails, a lot of complimentary cards. At some point, I stopped using complimentary cards anyway. I tell you the honest truth. I stopped using complimentary cards. I have them. But when I really want to connect, at some point, we exchange contacts right away. And I send you an instant message. In fact, once you connect with me instantly, I have an automated stuff that sends you a message on your WhatsApp instantly. Because, this is the perception. You want to brand yourself. You want to show that you're also there. Complimentary card is outdated. It's not part of the brand for me. Some people are still very analog. They love the card. I still go to the conference and they tell you, can I have your card? I'll be like, okay. But honest truth is, this is the era we are living. In this current dispensation, you have to show the world the value you bring to the table. Even before you arrive, they are already seeing this value already. So build global networks. How many of us are on Instagram? How many of us are on Instagram? Anybody? Absolutely. I have connected with people on IG. In fact, it has been one of the biggest tools I've used in my global expressions. And I tell them, already my Instagram already speaks of what I do already, so I don't need much introduction. Most of my global expressions are all there. What I do is all there. So it gives me even the leverage to say, this is what I do. Just courtesy, this is what I do. Please, I am needing this advice or this favor. I want to connect with you. Can you do X, Y, Z? And I'll give you a quick example. Few weeks ago, somebody contacted me from the U.S. He's a speaker in the U.S. I'm sure if I mention his name, you might know him. I think works in McKinsey, and he holds one of the strategic positions with them. All right. Okay, I'm almost rounding up. Okay, you want me to use this still? I'm rounding up already. It's fine. And he said he's visiting Nigeria in the month of November. This is November. That he saw some of the things I do. He's going to be visiting Abuja and Lagos. He would like to connect. So, funny enough, this person is somebody I also had been following some of his works a long time. When he reached out, I told my wife, I said, see, I was telling myself that once we want to activate our US program, I'm going to reach out to this person. But he had reached out before I did. Now, that's the value of perceived personality. Now, whatever you represent, you must have a perceived personality. And this leads me to my third point. Build a digital footprint. Highly important. Some of you just think, oh, when you do every of my event, I try to ensure that there are sometimes publications. In fact, my publication is going out, I think, tomorrow into about 5 or 6 newspapers. And my event is going to be reported on TV, 2 TV stations, and all. Now, sometimes it might not be that easy, like I mentioned. It doesn't also come cheap. But the value also pays off. Because someday, somehow, you will need some of the digital footprint to buttress the work you do. It's not just enough to do what you do. You must have them in a portfolio. You must have them in an archive. You must keep them. And why did I say so? I don't know if you know Jimmy Terry. I remember you know Jimmy Terry, the speaker. Right. He's one of my big brothers. And I was discussing with him some few days ago, and I said, this is what a friend of mine wants to do. He's also a speaker like me. And he said, does he have XYZ, publications, this, that? This person I'm talking to has done a lot of amazing job. In fact, we do a lot of stuff together. But it does not keep them on record. And because of what he wants to do in the US, they need this footprint. Either publications he had done before, or things he had done, either Wikipedia or XYZ, that they can just see the nature of what he has done. None. So that brings me to say, all of the amount of time he has done building his personal brand. Though, in quotes, they know him maybe on Instagram. But there's some place, Instagram is not a verifiable tool, sometimes, of your work. They might see it. They might recognize it. I can see your Instagram page, or maybe your Facebook. But to a large extent, there are platforms that are seen that, oh, this is what this guy does. And Jimmy and PJ said he needs to do XYZ. Critically important. And he has to start building that digital footprint. Now, because your digital footprint will precede you, it will let people know what you do and also show your capacity. Now, you must consistently do what I call the brand audit. For every level, they say they then hire devil. Have you heard that before? For every level you want to go to, they then hire devil. But I say to myself, for every level, there's a wisdom for every level that is required for you to grow. And every time I see myself in new seasons, I ask myself, what's the wisdom for this current dispensation? Last 2 years, I did a conference, and it was just very minimal. I told myself, this year we're going to go all out to do it in a brand style, because what we're building is something global, and we did it to an extent. Now, the idea was that it didn't come cheap, it didn't come easy, but we did it because of a reason. We had a plan, and that plan was what we were seeing to operate at that level. Now, for every level you get to, have a brand audit. What do I need to do? What should I put in place for this level? As young people, as students, you must begin to tell yourself, I am going into university. What do I need to do? When I was going to university, I did some things. I wrote down some of the goals I wanted to achieve. And these goals, I didn't break it for anything. Even to my CGPA, I did wrote it down. And that is because I was intentional about it. So you must be intentional about this. And that is very critical. Now, lastly, I want to talk about, before I leave, building networks. They say your network is your social capital. And I tell you the honest truth. One of the things that have helped me really well is the ability of me managing some of my networks. And I don't joke with them. Oftentimes, like I said, I just told you, 3 of the cities we were visiting were not paying for the hall because it was given to us by one of our partner church, CCI. An organization gave us one in Toronto. And in London, the city of Bexley is also giving us some support and all in the UK. Now, why did that happen? Because of the network we had explored in achieving some of this. It would have cost us more to operate at that level. But because of the network we had built over time. So, as young people also, have a solid network of people who are intentional. Don't let people come and say, oh, let's just go and do X, Y, Z, and you just follow them. You must have friends who are very intentional. I know if the people you are with in a circle are not going the direction you are going to, you can do what they call jettison. Drop them and find other paths, other people who are going in your direction. Now, this is my last statement to you. In this current dispensation, you must evolve. In this century, in this current dispensation, you must understand the power of evolving. AI is the new tool. Artificial intelligence has come to stay. Everybody is building with all of these automated systems. The question to you is, will I be left behind? What am I going to be doing? Now, this is my question to you, that you must build the future of work. You must understand the systems. You must understand what is in place and what you should be doing at every present time. And you must evolve with people. Because if you don't, you'll be left behind. Last night I go, just before you scale, you must have what I call the competence strategy. Do you have what is required for your next level? You have to be competent in the face of dispensation. Every time I tell people and all, the reason why I read a lot of books, I have a library, a very huge library, at least to an extent. My library is over about 300-400 books at the moment in my personal house, right? But a few days ago, I bought some books for my son. He's just 2 years old. I bought about 15 books, new books for him, right? Bedtime story. And why did I do this? I understand that books have the mental capacity to make your brain elastic. It expands your horizons of your brain. So when Richardson was mentioning about reading books, I had to acknowledge with him because I read books a lot. Oftentimes midnight. This is the solemn, calm period I like to read. I just sit and I look through my books. It might not be so much, but just a little. And why? I have different collections of books, from academics to business to impact to leadership. And I pick them, I just binge on them for the next level. Now my question to you is, build a good name. Build a brand. Nobody will do it for you. And when you do, posterity will ask you that what you have built over time is going to work for you. Last night as I leave, there was a lady I met on LinkedIn. Her name is Sarah. She now works in Bloomberg. Years ago, she invited me to Obafemi Awolowo University to come and speak. Now she's in Bloomberg in the US. What happened to Sarah? She was a very driven person. She was always driven by the new systems, the new skill. She reached out to me so many times. And I'm not surprised where she is today. She was in school then. She said to me, the drive I had, and when you came to the school to speak to us, you said something profound. You said, build for the future. And I meant it, and I'm going to say it again. Build for the future. Whatever you do, picture yourself in 10 years. Picture yourself in 5 years. What is the end goal? How do I want to see it? What should I be doing right now? Some of my businesses, some of my companies, I picture us in another 10 to 15 years of what we want to achieve. That is because you must have a mental construct of what the future holds. That is what is going to drive the present. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. And thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mr. Rotiba Emmanuel, transformation speaker, strategist, and change maker, basically telling us that branding is your reputation. So before we head into the question and answer segment, just 60 seconds. Please let everybody get up. Everybody stand up. We've been sitting for a while. Just stand up. Stand up. If you're happy and you know, stand up. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, jump up. You people are too stiff. Okay, let's have a seat, please. One question, just one. We don't have time. We're running so much out of time. One question for Mr. Emmanuel, the gentleman at the back, please.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, so my name is James. I'm the CEO and the head of trading of Beraka Investment. And my question is this. When you were speaking about partnership, in the global space, someone from another country reached out to me, and we do the same thing. Now, he's an educator, and I'm also an educator. How do you think, or what's the best way the partnership can be done? Because it's not as if he's in sales and I'm in education. You understand? I'm in education, he's in education. We're doing the same thing, but he was referred to me. You understand? So what do you think can be the best approach to this type of collaboration? Thank you.
Mr. Manuel, please. Let's get the microphone.
All right. So for me, partnership should complement, not compete. Right. Whatever is your current dispensation, the vision you're trying to drive right now, let's say for instance, you're trying to have an expansion, you're trying to have increased market, you look at it at that moment, what serves you in this purpose? What would this bring on the table? The fact that you're both in the same sector makes it easier for you to understand the same language, right? You understand what it's doing, you have the technical know-how and all, right? And this is for me. I have people, like I told you about my partnership in Germany. We are in the same sector. These people are in the same sector with me. But I said, let's do this together. I mean, at some point, cash flow is king. Depending on what you want to achieve at that point in time, every organization has what is their own current thematic areas they want to focus on. If it aligns with your current state, I think it doesn't matter. You can go into partnership and then leverage what expertise they bring to the table. And this is my own very honest advice to you. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you so much. There's other people raising their hands for you, Mr. Manuel, but because we're running out of time, gentlemen, please, you're going to have to approach him while the session is going on, or after the session, so he can do justice to them. Without further ado, we're going to bring to the stage Mr. Moses Abba. I'm just going to run through Mr. Moses's profile for just a second. Mr. Moses Abba is a visionary entrepreneur, investment advisor, and infrastructure financing expert with a distinguished track record of leading large-scale development projects and high-value investments across Africa and beyond. He holds a BSc in accounting from the University of Maiduguri, is a certified strategic and operations management professional from the International Business Management Institute, BMI, Berlin, and a fellow of the National Institute of Credit Administration, credentials that reflect his blend of financial expertise, strategic leadership, and professional credibility. As Group CEO of Hilvard Holdings and Hilvard Group, Moses directs diversified operations spanning real estate, construction, media, and international investment facilitation. In his role as CEO of Hilvard Realty Limited, he is dedicated to building quality homes and helping clients identify with financial returns and long-term value. He also serves as Executive Director at Carmen Construction Limited and CEO of TMA Media Limited. A respected voice in global economic discourse, Moses has represented Nigeria at prestigious international platforms, including the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, Europe, World Youth Forum, Egypt, and Friends for Leadership Network, engaging with policymakers, investors, and thought leaders to shape development agendas and unlock growth opportunities. Those are wonderful criteria. Mr. Moses, please, where are you? Take the podium and give us your industry insights. Thank you. We have 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. All right. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a wonderful privilege to be standing in front of great minds, and I really must appreciate you for taking out time to be here. I'd like you to give yourself a round of applause, please. Yes, and I want to appreciate my big brother and mentor for this wonderful privilege. It's an honor. So I have just 20 minutes and I want to go straight into the point. I don't know if my slides are ready. Are my slides ready? Okay, fantastic. So the topic is charting the enterprise journey from spark to global impact. You see, the idea of building a global enterprise is something that is very, very interesting. And if you ask me, I think everyone should be an entrepreneur. Everyone should be an entrepreneur. I am an accountant, and I would ask you a question. If you go to heaven, the first thing you do before you start praising God, which is very important, what's the first thing you do? You give account. It means God is a very God is a very intelligent businessman, right? Because I tell people that even the air in your nostrils, I was speaking to somebody the other day and I told him, I said, nothing on earth is free. And he told me it's a lie, like the gift of life is free, the air in your nostril is free. I say it's not free. If it was free, God wouldn't ask you what you did with your life when you go to heaven, isn't it? That's if you make it to heaven, because if you don't do well with your life, you might not even get to see him. That will not be our portion, okay? Now, so everybody should be an entrepreneur. Doesn't matter whether you are in the for-profit or non-profit sector, everyone should be an entrepreneur. And I want to indulge you to pay attention to the things I am going to say very quickly, and also maybe jot down, especially for the young people that are starting here today. Why I'm saying this is because the young man you're seeing here, I'm a young man. In fact, I look older than my age as I look like this. I'm a very young man. I started business at the age of 7. Last born in an African household, and you know what that means. You become the Uber driver of the house because everybody sends you around, right? So you're always being sent around. You don't have to. The moment I come back from school, I've started my work. So they start sending me around. And you know, one day I sat down at that young age and I was like, well, I need to solve this problem of always going out and always being sent around. And what I did was, from the monies I am able to save, the small money I had, I went to buy the small groceries that I was always being sent. And I kept it in my room. So usually in the African household, the money, it's no more than sugar, Lipton, and all those things. So when you send me, I'll just go to my room and then bring out what you send me. And that's how it is. So for me, it was about solving the problem of always going out and always being sent. But I discovered that I could make money from there. And for me, I've always liked the idea of being independent, because I believe you can only help people when you are self-sufficient. So from there, I made my first proceeds. I remember from the proceed, I bought 1 jerrycan of fuel. I started selling fuel then. And 1 jerrycan of fuel then was 1,200 naira. I remember clearly. So I bought 1 jerrycan of fuel. I started selling fuel. And my enterprise journey started from that age. And you know, even when I was selling fuel, and I discovered that I was selling to the entire area, and some of my clients would, have generator issues. So I took like 2 weeks to go and learn how to fix generator. And so if your generation has issues, well, I would even suggest servicing to you. So I've had very, very several enterprise journeys. So, and one thing that I would quote from a very wonderful mentor of mine, Steve Jobs, is that the dots will always connect when you look backward. I was listening to my mentor with a very good friend of mine, the CEO of Landmark Africa, when he lost some money due to some of the government decisions. And, my friend was saying, this guy is he doesn't look disturbed, and losing such amount of money. And I told him, I said, being an entrepreneur is not a one-day journey. This guy has gone through more deeper hell than this. I think at this level of his life, this is the least he has seen, because you would see things as an entrepreneur. So I would, is that the remote for this? So I would like to, is there a remote for this? Okay, you can tell in next slide. So every great enterprise starts with a spark. You know, it starts with a conviction born from frustration and clarity. See, I advise every young person here today to get frustrated about something. I advise every young person sitting here today to get uncomfortable about something. I have seen some of the most successful people across the world achieve very wonderful milestones, and at that same spot, they immediately put themselves in situations that get them instantly uncomfortable, because you birth the greatest achievements out of discomfort. Now, I advise you to get frustrated about something. For me, as a young child, I grew up in an African household, very, very, God-fearing family and all that. But you know, I've always been very curious, right? I've always been very, very curious. I wanted to know, like, I felt like there's always more. I felt like there's always more to what I am seeing in my apparent environment. So when you get frustrated about the things happening around you, when you get angry, when you get uncomfortable about the things happening around you, then that sparks the change for clarity. Clarity that you understand that I am supposed to do something about this current stage or this current level of my life, right? So I didn't start with capital. I started with curiosity. Like I told you, as a young child, I didn't grow up, in fact, I didn't grow up with my parents, none of my parents. Now, but one thing that has always kept me on my journey, even up till today, is curiosity, the ability to ask myself questions at every junction in life. Ask myself questions, because you don't want the world to start asking you questions. The ability to ask myself these questions helped me to be able to answer them, and at the same time to be able to build a life that I've always desired. And I'll show you how to do that. So I started asking sharper questions like, what do people truly need but can't articulate? You know, where does inefficiency cost both time and trust? What could I build that would outlive me? I've always wanted to build something global, and I've been an entrepreneur, right, as my core is entrepreneurship. I'll start by saying I appreciate everybody in the non-for-profit sector. Actually, there's profit in it. That's the honest truth. There's profit. Let's not, let's be very direct with ourselves. I've played in that space. I have very wonderful, very rich friends that are in that space. I am an entrepreneur. I started that space. In fact, I schooled in the University of Maiduguri, and I entered into the NGO sector then because it was what's trending there, and that's where I felt like I could make money. I'm an entrepreneur, so forgive me, I'm not big on the impact. I'm big on putting 1 + 1 together to give me 4. Yeah, so when I left there, I entered another, different space. So the idea is for you to be able to look at yourself and say, okay, what can I build that is going to outlive me? And I will tell you, the first thing you can build that would outlive you is yourself. You need to start, looking at ways to expand yourself. Next slide, please. Looking at ways to, does this remote work? I would like to have it, if you don't mind, if it works. So that, yeah. So, the struggle, building without a safety net, right? When you are in Nigeria, when you're born in Africa, when you're born in Nigeria, you already know that there's no safety net for you. Except, of course, for young people who have the privilege to grow up in successful households. But the natural, stand for every young person is the fact that the government has removed the net. Right? That's what everybody says. The government has removed the net. There's those days. But then, what is the idea of safety net? And what is safety? What is your definition of safety? The street is where my first classroom. You learn fast when failure costs you everything. I learned to sell vision before product, to build relationship before balance sheet, and to also negotiate with both humility and backbone. Now, I am a very, very I'm a very consistent student of life, and I have a lot of mentors. I read books, and there was a phase in my life that I said I was not going to read more of self-help books or motivational books. I would read books from people who have built something, people who have gone through actual challenges. And I'll tell you that our stories are different, our journeys are unique. And as someone who grew up in the street, you know, when you want to, and I'm advising you right now, if you want to make something of your life, you need to look at yourself, look at your story, look at where you're coming from, look at the things, the opportunities available to you, and find a way to make a meaning out of it. Not everybody is supposed to actually coach you or mentor you on the journey of life. And why I'm saying this is because someone who grew up in a very successful household may have little to tell you about building from scratch. Now, I'll tell you, because I didn't grow up in a successful household, I had to do like 5 different businesses to be able to stay afloat. You understand? And somebody who grew up opposite to that will tell you focus on one thing. For instance, I have a real estate company, and the first 1 year, my friend and brother is here, the first 1 year of starting up my real estate company, I sold nothing. I didn't sell anything. I didn't sell like a single dime. And I kept on asking myself questions. What if I was not doing other businesses? How would I have survived? Thank you very much. So I kept on asking myself questions. What if I was not doing other businesses? How would I have survived? You know, you listen to a lot of billionaires come online, and then they give you, you know, inspirations to tell you that money is not important. The honest truth is, no, they tell you money does not bring happiness. Yes, money does not bring happiness, but sit down and ask yourself this question: what level are you in life currently? There's a level you are in life that money will give you total happiness. Even me at this level of my life, money can buy me happiness. But Dangote can come online and tell you money does not bring happiness, because there's a stage you get where you've achieved all your adventures. And at this point, that's why most at that crescendo, they're more concerned about impact. So there's a stage in your life where money would bring you happiness. And that's why for me, growing up, I was a very prolific spoken word poet. And I kept on being invited to events, and then after I'm being invited, I'm given, you know, honorarium, mostly 5,000, 3,000 naira. I said, this is not the kind of money I want to make. I love you guys so much. I'm going to, you know, motivate you, but let me go and make money so that my success will motivate you. You understand? So I have seen myself transcribe my abilities from different level of my life, you know, to be able to build something, especially when you know you're coming from nothing, right? I had no funding, of course. You trade credibility for street equity. I came into Abuja as a core member, and then I started up my consulting firm. The first thing I did is, I know that I did not have, you know, the credibility in the market yet. So I approached one of the top business persons in Abuja, and I told him, I am going to offer you my consulting services for free. And this is the duration I intend to offer. I'm going to give you for the next 3 months. Within these 3 months, if you see credible results, I want us to come back and sit at the negotiation table, and let's discuss the price you're willing to pay me and the price I am going to charge you. And, you know, I put in the work. After 3 months, he called me by himself and be like, Moses, my organization is really, really growing, and I like what you're doing. I think we want to do a retainership with you. I said, fantastic. Now, this is the price that I set for myself. My first consulting, I'll just mention number once. I wouldn't mention that again. And I'll tell you why. My first consulting fee was as a core member. You could imagine the audacity of a core member. I mean, coming to Abuja. I don't want to even tell you my story of coming to Abuja, because when I was coming to Abuja, what I told myself, my friend here knows. Well, I told myself that there are 2 things. Either I sleep in a church or I sleep in a filling station. Actually, the honest truth is one of them happened. So in case you think the story is going to be glamorous, one of them happened, because at 1 a.m. in Abuja, at a point in my life, I even went to a church to find a place to sleep. But that's by the way. But I've always had the hunger to build something global. And I tell people always that I want to solve problems that would require the attention of a president. Because in that way, I am able to meet giants along that path. I've always thought big, and I aimed big. The first consulting fee I set as a core member was 3 million naira. My friends was asking me, like, who do you know? You don't, like, literally, you enter along to go to this consulting. So I said, I charged 3 million. I said, don't worry, I think time will tell. And when I sat down with this man, I told him my fee is 3 million naira. He said, okay, that's fine. Let's do a 6-month retainership, then we can extend after that. And then I told him, don't pay me 3 million, pay me 1.5 million. What I want you to do for me is refer me to 5 of your friends and help me put out a good word. Let me sign a deal with them. And he said, it's fine, but when you're telling them, tell them that you paid me 3 million. He agreed. And that started my consulting journey in Abuja. So, you see, today, when people, there are times where, someone I tell people that if you reach out to me today, when you're reaching out to me tomorrow, try and confirm my current value in the market. Today, my consulting fee is not something I can say, but then what pushed me to make that is because I believe in the audacity of courage that you can build something global. I can build something big for yourself. Now, the key wasn't perfection, it was momentum. Each small win gave me leverage. And every leverage, when managed with intelligence, compounds faster than capital. I don't even need to explain this one. Let's go to the next slide. Now, the structure, turning hustle into enterprise. Hustle will take you far, but structure takes you global. You need to, most of us are hustlers. We don't have a structure. Every business I have started, I have set up structures for them. I have 5 businesses I am running, and I've set up structures for them that it helps me to be able to perform and helps me to be able to, build something global. One of the times I was contacted to one of the deal rooms in Europe, and I had the privilege to sit in the same room with 5 presidents. That's the president of China and Putin, the GCC countries, and then I was sitting down, and then there was an aide to the governor of the Republic of Moldova, and then he asked me this question: you look very young, and you're one of the youngest persons in this room. What are you into? And then I told him I am into investment banking and infrastructure financing. And one of the first things he did was he went online. He went online to search my name, Moses Abba. And I still have the screenshot, but unfortunately, I may not be able to share it here. I still have the screenshot. He went online, searched my name, and he came back and said, he told me, I've seen you, like you're even getting awards in this place. You're doing very well. I would like you to meet someone. And then he stepped back. At that same spot, after my meeting with those people, he met me and said, I would like you to meet the Minister for Investment and Trade and Investment. And then, because he told me that they've been trying to do something in Lagos, but didn't work out due to some certain reasons. And then we started that conversation, setting up systems. Please, how many minutes do I have? Oh, wow. So setting up systems. Setting up systems is important because it helps you in the days where you are not able to, split yourself, right? Now, I'll just move straight to financing intelligence, learning the language of capital. Learn to raise capital, strategically, not just to survive, but to scale. Mastery, evolve from personality driven to process driven. Very important. There's a point in your life, there are different levels of making money. There's a point in your life when you make money from your skills. There's a point in your life when you make money from your credibility. And then there's a point in your life when you make money from psychology. At that level, the only thing you need to master is networking, because you have built that. So you need to understand that there's a point where my brother here said, you're building a personal brand, and then there's a point where credibility, you are in rooms and people are speaking for you because, of course, your job has been able to, yes, by the way, that was the aide to the governor of the Moldovan Republic, and that is the Minister for Investment and Trade and Investment. And then after the conversations we had with them in the deal room. Now, partnerships, very important, the real engine for growth. Money can open doors, but partnerships build bridges. You see, you don't want to be, one of the hardest things to sustain is success. Everybody can get successful, anybody can make money, but one of the hardest things to sustain is success. And how do you sustain success? How do you retain success? Is by leveraging on the credibility of other persons, and that you can be able to achieve through partnerships. You have to learn to partner both on the local and global scene. Now, but then you need to position yourself as a global person to be able to attract those set of people. Now, learn to align with people who see beyond profit, who share purpose. Partnerships multiply reach, of course, faster than capital. There are rooms that you cannot enter no matter the amount of money you have. Let me give you an instance. The room I entered, the person that was assigned to, take me around Europe, he told me that even them have never seen their president Putin face to face. Like, they have never seen their president, and he's a very big person. They have not seen their president face to face. So these things is not money. It's not everything that, you can get through money, but partnerships. You can get it through partnership. And then someone here mentioned, that people are watching. How did one of the opportunities I got, to work with the World Bank on a project, it was simply because of a referral from somebody who has been observing me since I was in my 100 level. I've built so many businesses, I've sold so many businesses. I'm not emotionally attached to anything. I'm only emotionally attached to the person I'm gonna marry and my God. So, so I've done a lot of things, and I'm not really ashamed to say them. But one thing I can say is be audacious, because life, the idea of purpose is not a static something. Purpose changes per time. So identify your seasons also, and that would help you build. Okay, so let me just move to the next one. Let me just give you the core lessons. Hunger is capital. Hunger is capital. Protect it. If you're a young person here, you have to be hungry. I was an accounting student. From my 100 level, I started an NGO. I got funding from UNDP. I got funding from Plan International. I got funding from USAID. You understand? Well, the honest truth is the funding I got, I did the job with them, but for me, it was business. So I got funding from these guys. At the same time, I was running a restaurant, an eatery, Spotlight Eatery, and as an accounting student, most times when my classmates see me in class, there are two things they ask. Moses, is there test today? Or is it's a week to exams? That's when you see me in class. And when I would tell you how to balance this, by the way, because we all have different graces. Because the honest truth is, I graduated with a good result even after that. So we have different graces. So, but then, what I will tell you, why I'm saying this is hunger. But then, if you're hungry for greatness, you have to understand that the sacrifice you would pay is different from the neighbor who does not understand greatness, especially on the global scene. So if I am, I'm running my businesses, I'm running the end.
Yes, if most of the people that borrow accounting end up hating us as if we're the ones that set up the curriculum, they end up hating us. So it wasn't easy, but paying the sacrifice, being able to do something sustainable is one thing I would encourage you to do. And then learn that if you want to build a global business, you want to go global, you would learn that the price you would have to pay is something that nobody is going to understand but you. Now, information is wealth. Know the terrain better than anyone else. Immediately I enter a room, I immediately map out the persons I am going to get in touch with when I leave, because I am observing you. I'm looking at how you sit. I'm looking at how you pay attention. I'm looking at your body language, because I've been in a lot of negotiation rooms, and I can be able to see the kind of persons I want to work with. Why? I am hungry for information. Knowledge is different from information. Knowledge is more like information is what gives you money, is what gives you wealth, is what gives you influence. And that, I would say, you would get information by studying your terrain. And how do you study your terrain is by having the mindset and strategy of a builder. structure your chaos early. Systems create freedom. Structure your chaos early. Why do I say that? I don't advise young people to. This idea of focus is not my thing. You can actually do what works for you, by the way. So the idea of focus, especially when you are young, is not my thing. Why? Because when you're young, you are supposed to try a lot of things, and then you would get to discover what is for you. I did a lot of businesses. Right now, I'm not doing most of those businesses because I've now found my path. But people tell you to focus on one thing. Do you know what Dangote started selling? I think it was in the news recently what Dangote was selling. I think he even sold roasted fish, or what was some of the things he sold, And I've not seen any great businessman. One of my mentors, Adebayo, a very big infrastructure finance expert, he's a multi-billionaire in dollars. This man has, if you see his portfolios, most of them don't even relate if you start it from the ground up. I've not seen any successful entrepreneur. I've not seen any successful entrepreneur that has not tried so many things. Because let me tell you, the result of success is compounding of how many things you have failed at. How many things you have failed at is what gives you grit, is what gives you, that courage to take on bigger challenges. The success will definitely come. Anybody can be successful, but not everybody has the ability to fail and still try again. Then, lastly, stay grounded. Of course, stay grounded. Very important. The world will tell you what you're supposed to be and what you're not supposed to be, but you have to be grounded, especially when you're building something great. Believe in yourself. Now, when I say believe in yourself, it is your ability to be able to believe that this dream I have in my hands, I can turn it into gold. Even though right now it looks like dust, I can be able to turn it into gold. Because honestly, there are three spectators. There are some people that are waiting to see if you're going to be the next big thing. There are some people that are folding their hands to see if you're going to be the next big thing. Some are folding their hands to see if you're going to fail. Some are waiting to see if you're going to succeed. Now, it is not left for you to define your brand, define the narrative. Would you succeed? Is the question I would ask. And if you're a young person here, I will tell you that you have the advantage of time. And use that time wisely to create something for yourself. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Moses Abba, thank you so much. This is the CEO, Hilvard Holdings. Thank you so much. Mr. Moses, something that struck me when you were speaking was when you said money is not everything. There's this, my favorite character, Tyler Perry, his other person, Madea, was saying something like, give me $1 million, I'll show you happiness. And I share her sentiments. So thank you so much for this. And one thing we've learned is that the impact we make is very, very important. So guys, if you have any question, we can only take one question for Mr. Moses. Does anybody have any question? One question for Mr. Moses. Nobody? We understood everything he said. All right, without further ado, let us go straight to our next keynote speaker. She's already seated, and we are going to call her up now. We are about to call up our very own Njura Njama to the podium, but before she comes to the podium, I'm just going to run through her profile very quickly. Njura Njama is a legal practitioner with a decade of practice experience in the field. She holds a master's in law with a concentration in artificial intelligence and intellectual property law. She is a sought-after career coach, keynote speaker, and human capital specialist, and the driving force behind the Talk Office, a human capital solutions firm dedicated to simplifying the workplace and empowering both individuals and companies to thrive. Currently, she serves as the company secretary, group head of legal and corporate services at Smart Residences Limited. She is also the lead partner of the Calvary Attorneys, an Abuja-based law firm. Njora has authored 3 groundbreaking workplace productivity tools: Career Probing Cards, CEO Probing, I'll take that again, CEO Probing Cards, and Accelerate 2024 Workbook. What sets Njora apart is her commitment to simplifying the workplace, and she does this through speaking, coaching, mentorships. She is the visionary behind the Abuja Job and Skill Acquisition Fair, AJSAF, the High Impact Professional Seminar, HIPS, and the Career Diner. Beyond her professional achievements, Njara is a compassionate soul who believes in the power of fairness, strategic work, and second chances. She founded the Female Education and Life Strengthening Foundation, an NGO that specifically addresses the issues affecting women and girls. The foundation primarily focuses on achieving sustainable development goals 1, 4, and 5, among others. Her motto is living for impact. So without further ado, we are inviting Njora Njama to the podium. Please come up to the podium and let us hear your insights. A round of applause for her, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Okay, that's not good enough. So may I implore all of us to stand up. I mean, that was such a beautiful conversation that we listened to earlier. So it's okay that our brain is full already. So let's shake it off a little bit. I'm going to teach you this particular clap that I like, and it's called the conference clap. So we'll do it together. It's quite interesting at the end, okay? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so when I say a conference clap, this is how it goes. Did you get it? All right, let's go. A conference clap. Another conference clap. Beautiful. The second step, I'm going to teach you a Zulu stomp. The same clap, but you do it with your feet. Are you ready? All right, a Zulu stomp. Beautiful. The last one is called Ikira. When I say Ikira, you say, hey, hey, hey. Are you ready? And Ikira. Let's go. Another one. All right, we'll take it from the top to the bottom. So we'll start from the conference clap, a Zulu stomp, and then Ikira. Are you ready? A conference clap. Another conference clap. And a Zulu stomp. One Ikira. Let's go. Another one. Put your hands together for yourselves. Is my slide ready? My conversation this morning is going to be around career capital. And I really love this topic because it hinges on some of the things I love to talk about. And in 15 minutes, we're going to be done. I won't bore you with so many talk. But I want to start with a story. I always like us to take a snapshot of the objective so that at the end of our conversation, you can hold me accountable to see whether or not I delivered on our joint points. But can you see the screen? If you can see the screen and you can take a snapshot, please go ahead because I'm moving very quickly. Okay, beautiful. So let me start with a story. I was 12 years old when I performed my first surgical operation. Tell me how. Ask me how. Okay, maybe I should share that. Our conversation is going to be very interactive. That's how I know that I'm not wasting your time. Because the minute I know I'm wasting your time, I'll stop there and I will leave. Okay? Do we have that understanding? Beautiful. I was 12 years old when I had my first surgical operation. And that solidified the fact that I was going to be a doctor, right? My sister was, my younger sister, she had this tooth. You know that last part of the tooth that is coming out? That is hanging onto you like a bad decision that you made years back. That's the tooth. She was crying. I just told her, you know what? Come, sit down. I took scissors, told her to open her mouth. She opened her mouth. I used the scissors. I did like this, and I removed the tooth. I was so proud of myself. That solidified my thinking that I was going to become a doctor, sorry. But 3 science classes later, chemistry, physics, further maths later, probably 2 or 3 GCEs later, I became a lawyer. Clap for me now. But this is not the end of the story. But if you want to get the end of the story, make sure you remind me before or during the end of my conversation. Now, I said this story because we are talking about career. And our conversation today is going to be centered around 2 things. The first thing is going to be what? The first thing is what? The second one is what? Beautiful. Can we all see what is written on the screen? Can we read it together? What's going on? Can we not read it together? Beautiful. So who is in career? Who is in career? When you think of a career person, what comes to your mind? Any answer? Who is in career? Yes, please. A white collar job. Beautiful. Any other ideas? Any other ideas? Okay. Is a carpenter in career? Is a carpenter in career? But it's not a white collar job. Is a fashion designer in career? Is an armed robber in career? Yes or no? Is a Yahoo boy in career? Eh? Is a Yahoo boy or girl in career? If you think he's in career, raise your hand. Bros, you are the only one, they've left you. Oh, okay, okay. If you think Yahoo boy or girl is not a career, raise up your hand. Okay, beautiful. So let's define what a career is. A career is an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life with the opportunity for progress. It's an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life with the opportunity for progress. So I outlined 4 components of that definition. Can we take the first one together? What's the first one? The second one? The third one? And the last one? So does Yahoo boy or girl have this component? It has 3. Which one is missing? It's does a career boy or girl, sorry, I said career, pardon me. Does a Yahoo boy or girl have this component or not? It has the component. Beautiful. So the point I'm trying to make here is, I want us to disabuse our mind from the traditional definition of what career is and begin to understand it broadly so that it can help you. I've heard people say that they are not in career because they are business owners. I've heard people say they are not in career because they are into buying and selling. I've heard people think they're in career only because they show up at the office and don't do anything. Mind you, your career is not your job. You can have your job, but you are not in your career. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we have agreed that anytime you want to think about career, these 4 components must be in that conversation. Otherwise, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sir? I feel like I'm going to dash you a gift. Clap for this young man, please. All right. So let's move to the next phase. Like I said, 15 minutes. Once it's 15 minutes, anywhere we stop, and then I'll give you the slide. Sir? PA, sir. Okay. All right. So I want us to do this activity quickly. Write 1 skill that you currently have. 1 skill. If talking is your skill, please write it down. So what is your skill? Is it because I said talking, you now said talking? He knows that talking is his skill. So what's your skill? What's the skill you want to write?
Absolutely, it's talking. Let me talk.
Sir, your skill?
Okay, so I have a skill in interior design.
Interior design. I'm looking for a designer. Are you expensive? This gentleman looks like he's expensive. What skill do you have? Dancing. Beautiful. So do you want to share us your skill? Fashion designing. Beautiful. So write down your skill. Write it down, because at the end of our conversation, what happens when people come for meetings like this is when you leave the meeting, you see that you heard fantastic speakers, but you did not come up with actionable steps that you can begin to implement when you get home. And that's why I like you to write one skill that you have. The next phase of it is one way that you can improve that skill. One way. Quickly, the first thing that comes to your mind. And don't tell me go and watch YouTube video. Don't write that one. Because I know you have been watching YouTube videos since. Are we together? All right, so let's proceed. So we've talked about career. Now we want to talk about the second component of our conversation, which is capital. Can we all read this together, if you can see? 2, 3, go. Okay. So is money wealth? Is money wealth? Okay, is money capital? Okay. Is ideas capital? Okay. Okay. Is skill capital? I love this class. Sir PA, sir, I think they don't need this conversation. They are there. A refresher. Thank you. Because I was wondering. How about career? Is career capital? Yes. How so? How is career capital? Please. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Please let's put our hands together for him. That's very apt. So indeed, skill, experience, career is a capital. Is time capital? What is that popular saying about time? Time is what? We have moved away from that definition about time. My definition currently is that time is the value of your life. And every minute that you spend depletes your account. Your time that you have here on earth is the entire value of life that you have. So every second that you spend not purposefully investing in something that can generate capital right now or in the future, you have depleted your bank account. So the next time that you think about going to watch a dancing video on TikTok, how many of us used to do it? Don't lie. Right? Yes. Even when I was preparing this slide, I just say, I'm tired, let me just rest more. I just went to TikTok. I spent 25 minutes. It was sleep that now I say, Mr. PA is going to sack me if I don't finish this slide. So time is the value of your life. And the reason why I brought this particular reference is so that, remember, we talked about career and we said that it has to be undertaken for a period of time. So your investment in time towards your career accounts for the level of capital that you can recoup from your career. Do we have this foundation ready? Do we have this foundation ready? All right. We agreed now. I should off the mic? Okay. So let's go. We have defined subtly the what, but let's talk about career capital. To my mind, I believe that career capital is how the occupation you've invested in holds the potentials for bringing you to the high impact stage, like he has defined. That occupation, that thing you're doing, that skill you have, that experience that you have gathered, that thing that you are good at, that thing that you like doing, how it possesses and holds the potential for bringing you to the high impact stage, for negotiating your enterprise capacity, and for setting you up for life. So certainly you're thinking, do I really have those skills? Do I really have that thing that I can use to negotiate my way through life? Because remember, life does not give you what you deserve. Do we all know that? Life gives you what you negotiate. And I am here to tell you that growing your career gives you a higher negotiating power in life. Is that good enough? Okay. So, how then do you manifest, implement this career capital that we are talking about? How do you build your career to a point where it becomes capital, to a point where it becomes valuable, to a point where it begins to make impact? And I know the word impact has been abused in our society today. So when you hear impact, people just go social enterprise something. People just go build an NGO and give people free rice. People just go dancing on social media and having 5,000 followers. When we talk about impact, it has been abused. But there are two things I know about impact. The first thing is that you have to define what it is for you. And the second thing is that it is not about you. You have to define what impact means, but you also have to know that it is also not about you. Have we agreed? So I'm going to give us just 5 things about what and how you can begin to operate in career capital. Are we ready? Ask me, what is number 1? It's not loud enough. It's not loud enough. Can we all read this together? I didn't hear you. All right. So let's dwell a little about starting. Most of us, particularly in this age and time, we believe that there has to be certain components that gives us the impetus to start. Oftentimes when I talk to young people, particularly people who want to be business owners, and you ask them, you have this great idea, but why have you not started? Ma, I don't have the money. How many of us have said this before? And you are thinking, thank you. You have good ideas, right? But the money to start is a problem. But is money really a problem? So think about it. If you're saying you have good ideas and money is preventing you from starting, but you also want to make money in order to start, what do you do? No, don't answer me because it's a rhetorical question. What do? You what? You what? Beautiful. So how do you start when you do not have the resources to start? Let's go over it. I said here, the aboki you know on your street. I was in a meeting one time, and it was a panel discussion. The panelists were talking about how to start. And there was this brilliant story that she gave. She said, do we have accountants in the house? Anybody? Accountants? Beautiful. Do we have people that want to become accountants? Asa, your profession is not... What do you want to become? Is a science... Accounting is a commercial... Oh, hey, yeah. Sorry, sir. I'm with you. That means nobody wants to become a lawyer here, right? How are you in a science school and you want to become a lawyer? Okay, you want to copy my style. Please put your hands together for that young guy. So, what the aboki story really means is that, particularly if you grew up in the north, there is always an aboki store located somewhere near you. True or true? And if you don't have aboki near you or where you are living, I don't know about you. Maybe you're not living in a... You can be living in a good area, but it's not a fun area. I stand to be corrected. Because people are living in the eyebrow area. There's no Aboki in their area. But let's move on. And now the idea the lady was saying is that there is a young person who just graduated school as an accountant and is looking for a job, but people keep telling him to bring at least 3 or 4 years of work experience. But this guy does not have. But guess what he has? He has an aboki that has been doing business for 15 years in that particular area. But the aboki has no idea of what bookkeeping is or could be. And this guy could easily offer his services to an aboki and learn the experience that he needs to learn to be able to use that experience and get the white-collar job that he's looking for. Does that look like a good strategy? Okay. So that's why I said here, starting for people differs. If you are new in the job market or in building your career, starting will look like finding mentorship, finding volunteer jobs, volunteering your services to people that may not pay you, but you are banking up your experiences for the future. Now, if you have stayed, you are a mid-level career, that means you've been in career for a minute or two. Starting means getting out of your comfort zone. Those of you who are in the office, and every single time they want to give you tasks, you run away. Those of you who are in the office and you have associated work with suffering, and you wonder, this guy just came from nowhere and they have promoted him. You have been there, you are the ancestor of that organization, but you will never be promoted. Get out of your comfort zone. You have stayed there too long. And for those of you who are grandfathers and great-grandfathers in the industry, you have risen to the top of your career. But somewhere, somehow, something happened. Because something always happens. That's what life is, right? What do? Forgive yourself. Learn and restart. Are we together? Does this look like a good strategy? So how many of you are going to start something? How many of you are starting something? How many of you are restarting something? You started before, you messed up and you want to restart. How many of you will not do anything? Don't raise up your hand because PA will know you. At the next event, will not invite you. So is this activity I've just put forward? Who is that aboki that is in your area? It doesn't have to be an aboki literally. It could be an organization. It could be your uncle. It could be your aunt. It could be a friend. It could be the church that you worship in. You said you like speaking, but every time they are asking you to come and anchor the event in church, you run away. You said you are a good organizer, but come and join this department. Some of you have never volunteered your services ever. Ever. Am I shouting? I'm shouting too much. It's okay. Okay, I should continue. It's all right. And some of you have allowed ego to be in the way, so much so that you think you are much more than what you are. Meanwhile, the skill that you are claiming to possess, you have no idea how to implement it. But let's move on. Number 2 is, can we read this together? How many of you have been told to follow your passion before? Everybody, everywhere, follow your passion. Follow your passion. But what exactly is your passion? Mind you, your passion is different from your hobby. Most of the things that they tell us are our passion are actually our hobby. Passion can only be found in the place of action. If you have not taken action in the direction of the activity you think is your passion, my brother, my sister, you are just dancing with your hobby. And what passion is not, it's not an easy drive. So I said, follow curiosity. Mr. Moses talked about it earlier. Be curious about life. Be curious about what is. Just be curious. I came in, they gave me this seat to sit down. Why did they give me this seat to sit down? Why did they give me that seat? Why? Be curious. Curiosity, once it leads, it opens boundless opportunities for you. And guess what? When you look at organizational structures, the people that are always the lives of the management are people that are always thinking. That's what curiosity does to you. It plunges you to a wealth of thought. So following your passion is good, but guess what is better? Follow curiosity. Can we all say follow curiosity together? Follow curiosity. All right. Number 3 is what? Some of us, you might have heard this before. I'll just reiterate it for us to just hear. You are too broke to be ashamed. Did that sink in? You are too poor to be ashamed. Many of us are the impetus or the desire to chase after our career capital has died because we are worried about what people will think about us. Guess what? I have an uncle. He's not a lawyer, by the way. He's a political scientist. And he went into politics very early in life. And when I told him I wanted to become a lawyer, oh my God, I made his dream come true. He would do anything but give me money. Oh. Yeah, you know this kind of uncle. Yes. But he was charging my entire village knew that there was a lawyer about to be birthed. And by the way, I think I'm the first female lawyer in my village, by the way. Clap for me now. So when I finished law school, I graduated, I was doing well, I joined the law firm, I was doing well, I was doing everything law. But I had always had the desire to be on a stage. I'd always had the desire. And I always had the desire of sharing perspective. While in university, I used to be the idea bank for my friends. Whether it's relationship problem, school problem, house problem, any problem that you have, bring it. We'll solve it together. So imagine his disappointment when he saw one of my videos on YouTube. And I called myself a coach. He called me. What do you mean? What do you know that you addressed yourself at your... What have you seen? Who are you? At the time, I could not stand him, so I didn't say anything. But I kept building. I kept speaking. I kept honing my craft. Fast forward to 10 years later, he calls me and says, no, before then, he calls me and says, you went to law school, you are vibrant, you are this, you are smart, are you not supposed to be leading causes around? I said, but I'm a lawyer. I may not be the lawyer that goes to court every single day, but I serve as a legal person where I am. That was not enough for him. So I had to address him. I said, sir, I love you, I care about you, but you see this skill that I'm building, I'm investing time, energy, and resources in it. If you are not going to appreciate it, don't bother. And then he stepped back. Fast forward to 2 years later, he calls me and says, Andrea, I have been trying to start, this year, content is everywhere. I'm trying to start a YouTube channel. And I know that you have the skill, and guess what I did? I sent him my rate card of how much to cost me to help him set up his YouTube channel. Ask me whether he paid. He did not pay. But I did not do it for free. Was I wicked? Beautiful. So when you allow shame of people who could not achieve the things that you're trying to achieve to impress on you, you will end up just where they are, bitter and unfulfilled. So box shame into a corner. If you need to beg to get to that place of career capital, beg. If you need to offer your services for free, offer. Whatever it is that you need to do, make sure that shame is not something that is holding you back. Number 4, what is this? It's all right. Education is a platform. For so long, they've told us that if you studied accounting, you must become an accountant. But is that changing or not? Has that changed or not? That's because the people that brought education in the first place knew that it was not a box, it's a platform. The ideas and things that you're being taught in school is supposed to shape and arrange and reorient your mind and expose you to the possibility that curiosity can bring. Do not let education box you into a life or career that you do not love. Are we together? And finally, what is this? What is this? It's difficult to talk about money because we have mindsets around money. Some good, some bad, some negative. But there are mindsets around money. But I want you to reorient your mind along this thing. The first one is that you need money to make money. I think I've talked about this already. You don't need money to make money. You don't. If you have money, it's going to be an addition, but you don't need it. Number two, that everything must be about money. Now, I want to take a minute to address this with young people. There is this insatiable desire that every time you offer your services, money must be made. It's not true. As a matter of fact, at every level of your career development and growth, before you would start making money, it will take some time. It will take some time. Sometimes you would doubt yourself. But it doesn't mean that what you're doing does not have the capacity to make you money later on. Stay on it. Grow your skill. Grow your influence. Grow your relevance. And money would follow. And finally, that money is not about psychology. How many of you, when they talk about money psychology, you're always like, that's not how you make money. Oh. That is, no, that's perspire to acquire before you retire. It's not how you make money. Guess what? There's a psychology to money. And before you can manifest money physically, your mindset around money would have to change. And remember, we said capital is also money in some form. So if you are growing your career, but you have not fixed your mindset around money, you will spend so much time at work with no visible result. And you will retire bitter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my reflection. Can we all read it together? And the take-home exercise is very simple. Identify 3 people or places around you that you can benefit from the skill that you have or the time that you are given. And you have to do this in 7 days. Just 3 things: places, people, maybe somebody that you have ignored, somebody you have reached out to before and they've ignored you because you are reaching out to them with pride. I've arrived now, this guy is supposed to pay me. Career capital grows when you start where you are. You invest in your time wisely and use your skill to serve others. This is how you become that person that consistently thrives in a flowing currency arena. So these are my key points. Number 1, every skill or experience is a potential capital. Every skill, every experience has the capacity to leverage you for the next thing that you need to do. Before I came to speak here, there must have been a connection between I and the convener, or somebody that has now referred me with the convener. Things don't happen in vacuum. There must be a connection. Number 2, starting small creates momentum and learning opportunities. There are things that you will never be exposed to until and unless you start. There are industry secrets that are hidden only in the industry, not outside. Not outside. So when you start, it begins to unravel and expose itself to you. 3, time is not just money. Time is life. Every time you spend not invested in the things that matters, you have wasted capital. And you will never get that capital back. 4, your environment is yours first. It's your first marketplace. Where you are, your church, your friends group. By the way, don't leave here with the idea thinking that your friends are going to support you. That's not what I'm saying. No. Your friends will be your first haters. Oh, maybe you didn't hear that. Your family will be your first judges. All right? So don't leave here thinking that because, no. But your environment is your first market, and you have to explore it in order to get the best resource from it. Finally, curiosity and courage sustains career growth more than passion or anything else. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Nduran Joma, Human Capital Specialist. Thank you so much, ma'am. Guys, did you enjoy this class? Because I was back there screaming my answers. Part of the participants, I was feeling it. Did you guys love this? Because I did. Nobody's saying anything. Fear catch me. Voila. Okay, we'll take some questions. Just one question for her before we move on to what we have next. Does anybody have any question? Just very briefly. Any questions? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
And I want to thank the speaker for a talk well delivered. My question goes like this. I want to talk about the environment. Now, there are some environments that are not idea-friendly. Like, you might have this idea, you bring it out. Because of the people around there, they will kill it immediately. So what do you do in such situations?
Okay. Ms. Njara, please.
All right. Thank you for that question. So, two things. Maybe I should, I don't know if I should tell you a short story or I should just go straight to the answer. Who asked that question? You. Okay, beautiful. Let me give you a short story. When I set out to start the talk office, I was so happy about it. I was so excited because I felt, oh, you know what, this talk office idea is hinged around bridging the gap between employers and employees. Employers are always complaining that, oh, there are no good staff to employ. Employees are always complaining that we cannot trust these companies. And I felt that there is a gap in the middle, and I said I'm going to bridge it. Guess what I started doing? I started telling everybody that mattered, my village people, my grandparents, my ancestor, everybody that mattered. Guess what happened eventually? It didn't take flight. So when you have ideas, it is yours to keep. And the only time you should share your idea with another person is when you are certain that that person can operate at the same frequency as you. So it is your work to find the people that can birth your ideas, not the other way around. Now, in finding the people, are you going to tell your ideas to somebody who is going to shut your idea down? Yes. Yes. Because at the end of the day, it was not their idea. They don't freaking care. But whose idea it is? Is it yours? Is it my idea? Whose idea is it? So whose responsibility it is to make sure that that idea is birthed? No, it's me. Is it me? No. So the audacity with which you go after your idea should be yours, whether anybody else sees it or not. And let me tell you, my love, people will not see it immediately. Remember, Mr. Moses said, some people are waiting to see if you're going to fail. Some are waiting to see if you would succeed. And some are waiting to laugh at you. So it's your idea. It's nobody's idea. Waiting and thinking that somebody is going to help you propagate your idea is a lazy man's approach to life's work. Are you a lazy man? Have I answered your question? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, because of time, we're going to move on to the very next thing that we have. I told you when we were starting that this was not going to be your regular run-on-the-mill conference. We have lots of fun things, action-packed stuff going on. And next up, we have a special performance by the E-Series. It's right here. Please, a round of applause for E-Series as he takes the stand.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're looking very, very corporate. It's like I'm about to preach. I want us to rise to our feet. I'll teach you a couple of songs, so we'll sing together. And I know this business meeting and leadership forum and all that, but I want us to participate in the music. Are we together? Are we together? Or do you want me to release some aspire to aspire before you believe me? Okay. Okay. So sorry, hold on. So the first song. Can we take out this people? Sorry. Can anyone help me with this? Anytime I get here, it's like I'm about to say, I hear a word in my spirit. Someone help me with this, please. Thank you. Okay, so I want you to say after me, my Elion. Now only you are the hold from dusk to the dawn. So let's say it again. My Elion. Now only you are the hold from dusk to the dawn. Then the next part, my Elion. If you the view, I go day all right. So can we take it from the top? My Elion. Now only you are the hold from dusk to the dawn. My Elion. If you the view, I go day all right. So it goes like this. My Elion, yon, yon. Now only you are the hold from dusk to the dawn, dawn, dawn. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. Let's go say, my Elion, yon, yon. Now only you are the hold from dusk to the dawn, dawn, dawn. Oh Lord, Lord, Lord. My Elion, my Elion. If you the view, let's go. If you the view, I go day. All right, all right, all right, all right. From top, let's go. My Elion, my Elion. Now only you are the hold from dusk to the dawn, dawn. Say, oh Lord, Lord, Lord. My Elion. Thank you. If you the view, let's go. If you the view, I go day. All right, all right, all right. The last song is, say my story for the ends long ago. I'm a living miracle. I'm a living miracle. Everybody go. My story for the. I'm a living miracle. I'm a living miracle. I'm a living miracle. Oh, one more time, say my story for the. I'm a living miracle, say I'm a living miracle. I'm a living miracle. Oh, put your hands together for yourself. So let's go for it now. Thank you, Mr. DJ. Volume. Volume. Come on, move our body. Volume. Everybody. Everybody. Yeah. I will shake the dance. Come on. So the song goes like, give me chance. Make a dance, make a dance. As I say, nobody can shake my foot, crash like me, my stance. For instance, for me beyond the glance, you can't compare my past without Christ and now men are big distance. I will be saved when the world's on fire, you see the help me spirit to do. But you be special, love of condition, I believe it is no big deal. Even when the world is on fire, you see the help me spirit to do. You treat me special, the love you do. Everybody say my story for the end. I'm a living. Say I'm a living miracle. Sing me. Everybody say my story. I'm a living miracle. One more time. Everybody say my story. I'm a living miracle. Move your body. I'm a living miracle. Yeah. My story. I'm a living miracle. Whoa. That song. Jump. Everybody, move your body like this. Everybody like this. Move your body like this. Gay. So you know what that song? We go like this. My Ellie, yo. Now only you are the one from dusk to the dawn. Oh, Lord. My Ellie, yo. If you think you are go day, all right. Alright, everybody say my alien. Now only you are the word from dusk to the dawn. Say oh la la la, my alien. If you think you are good day, alright. Okay, start for me. Them no fit to decipher what you even seen me. Because them no say the boy no perfect, but you still believe in me. Say them no fit to decipher what you even seen me. I see how you did to me well from time of me. I let me be caught. For my pattern will be locked up. Even when you mess up, it's the happen from my domot. Everybody, I scratch the cup. Game over them, I say what? And just stand by it with metaphor. Cause we think say a metaphor. Spiritual style for God's Martin, 2 plus 2 making 9. Plus from big days solidified, no big happy. I and that day unified. Say what? Spiritual style for God's Martin, 2 plus 2 making 9. As from big days solidified, everybody say, my Elio. Not only you are there, God, Stevie Wonder, say, oh Lord, my Elio. If you think you are good there, alright. One more time, my Elio. Not only you are there. Everybody, if you think you are going to be alright. So when I say, Jalo, you say, hello, Jalo, we got a hello. Everybody say, Jalo, hello. Everybody turn, move your body like this. Everybody, move your body like this. From the left to the right. Everybody move your body like this. Yeah. One more time. Move your body. One last thing. I will go like this. Follow me. 1, 2, 3. Everybody move like this. Hey, move your body, everybody. With a smile on your face, move your body. Say, everybody say, ja. Let me hear you say. One more time. Everybody say, ja. Everybody. This one for me. This one I they speak, make you receive this deliverance. For this life I can't cease, Christ be my steady compass. Security I breathe, never know if try compass. For I'm over they kill, I'm done my every class. Hello, my God, this was play your slow. For this, get up, I beg, alone, at least make you follow. What comes up is tomorrow, yeah, you need to follow. Everybody say, just a follow. Right or left, just a follow. One more time, just a follow. Yeah, release just a follow. Everybody, just a follow. Say right or left, just a follow. Just a follow, let's do this together. Everybody, let's go. On the boat. This way, everybody, let's go. On the boat. This way, everybody, let's go. On the boat. Let's go, forward. Everybody, let's go. On the boat. Everybody, last time. Let's go. Everybody, let's go. Just a follow. Say, just a follow. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's serious. Who enjoyed that? I had a lot of fun. All right, without wasting any more time, our next speaker, his name is Mr. Jeremiah Agenyi. He is the product manager and co-founder. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, but he sent us a recording of his class, and we're going to take it right now. Before we go there, I'm just going to run through his profile very quickly. Jeremiah Agenyi is a product strategist, co-founder, and strategic systems thinker dedicated to building cultures of clarity and impact in tech. As a media tech expert, he explores architecture principles for scalable, teachable platforms, advising on modular design systems and migration-ready solutions for emerging markets like Nigeria. With a foundation in public health innovation, Jeremiah mentors teams to adopt ethical AI with purpose, ensuring technology drives measurable outcomes over novelty. His work bridges vision and execution, empowering enterprises to evolve with intention. That is Mr. Jeremiah Agenyi. Before we listen to his recordings, I noticed that some people walked in. So please, all our dignitaries and distinguished people who walked in, all protocols duly observed. Please, let's listen to Jeremiah Agenyi's recording. Please put a round of applause for him.
Yes, good day, Abuja. Good day, everyone. It's a pleasure joining you today. All the way from Manchester, I bring you greetings from myself and from my lovely wife, Ezine Amaka. A huge shout out to the convener of today's event, Pastor Philip Agboola. Sir, we see what you're doing. We see the impact that you're making. We're cheering you on, and we are grateful to God for the opportunity to support you, to partner with you. Please keep going. We're seeing you. I also want to say I don't take it for granted that I'm sitting on this lineup with these highly impactful speakers. I want to say it's a huge privilege, and I am grateful for that privilege. So I have about 20 minutes or less, and I will be unpacking how to thrive in the age of AI. How to thrive in the age of AI, and this is for anyone involved in any form of business. So the thing is, AI, whether we like it or not, is changing at the fundamental level how we get things done. I call this the new approach to work. Work is not what it used to be anymore. It has changed, and we need to keep up. So whether you're a small business, whether you're a large, a medium business, or you're an employee working in those business, or maybe you're a professional trying to build your brand and all that, the thing is, you must deal with the reality of AI. You either adapt or you die. And it is even more critical this time. See, I know that AI is currently evolving at a fast pace, and it seems very overwhelming. For me, it is. I'm a product manager and I build products. So I know how overwhelming it is that every week I have to keep up with what tools are coming into the market. And then you need to always reevaluate, are the tools coming better than what you have, or what you have is already okay? I know it's not the tool, it's the person, but sometimes the tool helps the person deliver faster and better. So I know AI also can be very complex and can be quite overwhelming. But the truth is, businesses and individuals or professionals are not getting overwhelmed by AI because AI is complex. No, they are not getting overwhelmed with AI because AI is complex. They are getting involved they're getting overwhelmed because AI is exposing something that we have not really prioritized for a long time. Let me show you what I mean. Now, imagine yourself being on an island with a limitless number of workers, and each of these workers can handle any task when applied to your business, and they are available 24 hours. Can you imagine that? Or maybe let's bring it home. Let's say you run a small business and you just come to the office one day after the grind of yesterday. You just come into the office and then you now find that so many young men and women are just sitting there, fully dressed. They look sharp, very intelligent, and they are waiting for you. They are able to do anything and they can work for you 24/7 and they're waiting for you. So the question to you now becomes, if you're handed over this kind of opportunity, what would you do first and why? In other words, what would you prioritize or what will change in how you do your business at the fundamental level so that you are able to take advantage of this opportunity? What's going to change? See, if you do not have that answer, the answer to this question at this point in time, or maybe in a plan somewhere that you have drafted, if you cannot answer that question now, then means that you have work to do. You have a lot of work to do. Let's get practical. Imagine a fashion designer. The process of that business is usually you find a customer, you tell them what you can do for them, they agree to you to what you want to do and to a price. You go ahead, you produce it, then you deliver. If they like it, you take a picture and then you share online with people to say, this is what I have done. Now, that works with you in your head or with your little team of 2 or 3 people. But as the business begins to scale, those processes evolved outside of you. Now, at that point, you are now presented with this island of infinite helpers. The question I now have for you is, what will change in your business, in how you do that business to ensure that you take advantage of these limitless resources? It could also even be an employee trying to get ahead. An employee is trying to get ahead, wants to nail that next promotion, and he knows that he needs to either improve his LinkedIn profile, how it looks, needs to improve the portfolio, or learn how to write, or do a certification. And the question is now, um, when you have assistants that are available to help you get the work done, what needs to change in how you approach work? So that is the question. Now, here's what I've observed. Most businesses, when you hand them this opportunity, when you hand them this limitless opportunity, it paralyzes them because now that you are no more busy, you now have a lot of time on your hands. You are wondering, what should I be doing? What is this business all about? Let's dive into how we think as of business in Nigeria. In the context of Nigeria, what business really means for us is you are very busy. You have a lot to do. There's that grind, there's that hustle, there's a long hours that you're putting so much manual effort doing everything by yourself, not because you want to, but because there's so much to do. There's so much to do that you just have to get going. And so at that point, you now find that one thing that you have deprioritized is, which is a flaw in that business, is you never had the time to think strategically, to sit down to plan. Planning became an afterthought. So it's when you have a bit of time, you sit down to plan, or when things are not going well, you are forced to plan. See, the truth is, how business run is, you are actually creating, you're not building products per se. It's an experience you are building for people. So when you develop a product and people use that product, you create experience for them. So you need to shift that mindset from product to experience. If it's an experience you're creating for someone, you would think how your business, your product or your business services translates to that experience. That's when you begin to get prepared to adopt AI. Now, knowing that planning took back seats and all those kind of things, AI came to reveal that um, if I take off these tasks from your hand, what is left is what your business actually means. So you see tasks that take 6 hours, all of a sudden you're doing it in 30 minutes and you're wondering what to do with 5 hours that is left, 5 hours plus that is left. So that's one problem. A layer on top of that would be that um, many of these businesses have not really um, articulated what success looks like for their business. That's one part. The second part is the outputs along the value chain that leads to what success you are looking for in your business. They are not clearly defined. So, in the sense that if you want to get into a partnership, say with a business, and then you need to develop a partnership agreement, you just enter ChatGPT and say, give me a partnership agreement between me and this guy. This is what our business is about. If you are not versed in what that partnership agreement should look like, you would end up accepting anything that ChatGPT gives you. And that is a problem. So you see that it's not really chaos with these tools or AI itself. It's just that AI is a clarity magnifier. It's now showing you that you do not have enough clarity. You see some people engage a lot of these tools. They pour in so much time, so much hours, but they find that even with AI, the output is not commensurate to the energy and all those things that they pour into, and they are wondering why. The tools are many. The tools are many. Look at one of my favorite tools is Notebook LM. Very good for research. You can use it for studying. You can use it for all sorts of things. You're complaining that you have not read entrepreneurship books and all that. Just take Notebook LM, drop one or two of those books there, and you begin to chat with those books. That's it. So there are many of those tools. The tools come in all sorts of categories. But one thing that is clear that you should take note of is the fact that AI can solve problems, but you need to tell AI what problems to solve. So your approach has to change from thinking that AI will do all your work. No, AI will not do your work. AI will help you do your work better. So you are still doing the work, but AI is helping you do it better. If you think about it that way, your approach to adopting AI drastically changes. There are more tools in different in shapes and size. Um, you've heard of Harvey AI. If you've not, you can research that. It's like a legal expert. There's Otter AI that takes notes during meetings, gives you that note. You interact with the note. You can even ask the AI for advice based on that note. I used it to interview people joining a company that I worked with, and after that chat, sometimes I don't have the time to really review 30 to 45 minutes of transcript. So I just ask the AI that take this context. I give it some context and I say, do you think this candidate is a fit? And the AI will advise you that it's not a fit based on this reason, this reason, and will refer you to parts of the conversation where it picked that idea from. So that's another way. Another way to look at these tools will be through the lens of personal productivity. There's Notion AI, super awesome tool that you need to check out. Oh, you do a lot of presentation. There is Gamma AI. It does both the research and the slides for you. You just need to edit. You can look at it through the lens of category. What are you involved in? You're a writer or a communication or a designer or a creative. You could also just have blanket list of these tools and what they do. I think one more note on that would be that, of course, some are free, some are paid, but there's also local large language models that you can deploy on your own system, build an infrastructure around it, and close it off from the internet and have your own AI ecosystem that you can deal with. My home computer is a localized setup that I use for some of my work. Yeah, the learning curve is high, but yes, it is available. Now, with the spectrum of all these tools that we have, you're now asking yourself, where do I start? Now, before you adopt any tool, you need to identify three things. Number one is the pain points. You need to map out your pain points in your business. Now, I said pain points. I'm not saying, I don't know what word to use. If you're a lazy person and you adopt AI, it will compound things for you. So you don't use AI as a substitute for laziness. So when I say pain points, I'm not saying work that you have refused or you feel too lazy to do. No, I'm saying that there are work that there are tasks in the value chain or in the process of your work that if they are optimized, it reduces downtime, increases customer experience, and also increases your output and maybe your profits. For example, go back to the fashion designer example. As a fashion designer, you're dealing with a lot of customers. You sleep one night, in the morning you wake up to 10 messages, and some of them they ask you question, but because you could not answer on time, they just go ahead and speak to another they go ahead and speak to another fashion designer. So, but that is a real pain point because it's causing you to lose customers and lose revenue, lose opportunity to create experience for people. So that's a real pain point. A very good example of a pain point. The second point is cost versus cognitive lead. Now, just because the tools are available does not mean that just because the tools are available does not mean that you should use them. You only use them if you have a need to do so. Remember, I said that AI helps you do the job better. It doesn't you don't replace yourself or your mind or your brains with AI. No, you use AI to enhance yourself, enhance your brain, enhance whatever, just to help you deliver faster and better than you would have done. So stop thinking of AI as yeah, it's replacing you. No, it's enhancing you. So if the cost of adopting a particular tool, maybe the learning curve or the setup or the adoption across your company, if the cost is higher than the value you are getting, imagine that people are spending more time to learn how to use a tool versus the time that they actually use the tool to generate something, then it's costing you more than it's helping you. You should not adopt that tool, or you should think about a different approach to adoption. So, cost versus cognitive lead, you need to balance that. The third one is clarity check. If you're not clear, so it's almost akin to garbage in, garbage out. If you are not clear on, they say person where you don't know road, any road is road. If you don't know your destination, any road can lead you there. So that's very true when it comes to AI. So if you can't measure it, you're not ready. Be very clear. Now, so identify your pain points, then adopt gradually. Start small. Don't rush into it. Don't pour yourself into it. Start small. Master prompting. I'll come back to prompting, and also always review what AI gives you and verify it. Never trust AI 100%. Hallucination is real. I said so. There's a test we do. It's one of those Turing tests. They call it Turing test for AI to see how intelligent it is. A very simple one is to ask AI to say how many letter R's are in the word strawberry. I chatted with this particular large language model that I downloaded locally, and this AI told me confidently that there is no R in strawberry. That there is no R in strawberry. And I prompted over and over saying, check again. At a point, I even told the AI that there are 3 R's in strawberry. It said no. I can confidently tell you there's no R. So that's just a funny example, but that tells you that yes, AI can be confidently wrong. So you need to. Yep. 1 minute. Yes, back. Sorry, I lost you there for a bit. So you need to always review and verify whatever output AI is giving you. Now, to say there are some basic skills that matter when you are thinking about the broad adoption of AI. So you equip yourself with that skill. They are easy to get. Design basics, understand the basics of design so that when you are communicating with AI and it's giving you output, there is a point of reference. You are going to engage with a lot of tools, Canva and all that. I mean, the list is there that I showed. You're going to interact with them. You need to be able to understand what uh, your final output should look like. Then, in terms of prompting, you're talking about a language of communication. When you're communicating with someone, you choose your words, you choose your examples, you choose your context. You sometimes you even explain to people an example of what you're trying to say. It's the same with AI. You tell AI, I want this to get done. You get down to specifics using terminologies in that field, then even sharing example of what your final output should look like. That's a very good context. At that point, AI now knows that for you to be speaking like this keyword, I now know what you're talking about. And then this format from the example you showed to me tells me what you are looking for. I can give that to you. So that's very important. Now, the last one is local context. The thing is, these large language models are trained on vast knowledge. They know almost everything. But one thing they don't know is they don't know you. They don't know you. They don't know what you're doing. So you need to put together resources that speaks you. Things like a document that says about you can be very brief, maybe 1 page or 2. Another document that lists all your services and your pricing and all that. Maybe another document that lists case studies of people that you've helped or case studies of the kind of problems that you solve and all that. You pull these documents together, either pulls them into one document, but make sure it's not too much. When you introduce this into the conversation with AI now understands better where you are coming from, why you are saying the things that you are saying, and it's able to provide better feedback to you, better outputs for you. So master these skills. Go to YouTube and all that to learn about these skills. Now, still talking about that hallucination, AI can be wrong. You need to watch out for that. Always verify every output. I know it sounds like work. Remember, AI is not taking over your work. It's helping you do your work better. That time that you're trying to save, take a bit of that time to improve the outputs that AI is giving you. Don't be in a rush. Don't lose attention span. I mean, focus on what your output is and ensure that it is what AI is giving you. And AI is biased also. It can it gives you response based on what it knows. So you need to always streamline the activities of AI streamline the conversation, guide it back to the context that you want. Sometimes they can just give you responses that you're looking for, and off point, they just give you something that takes you off the course of the conversation. You need to be able to guide that conversation back. Don't let it have its own opinion. You are the owner of the product. AI is just helping you build better products and better experience. And then too much tools is really going to overwhelm you. You need to narrow down. You need to narrow down what is very essential for your business and focus on that. And then this is maybe a plan to say from 0 to 90 days. This is how you can start accelerating in terms of a small business progress over perfection. But let's move on. I think my time is up. So the last thing I would ask is to say, do I know what success looks like? Clearly enough that when AI generates something for me, I can articulate it better. So do I know what success looks like? Clearly enough to guide AI towards it. So the thing is, if your answer is yes, AI becomes a rocket fuel for you. You'll move faster, you'll move smarter, and with more precision than ever before, ever possible. And that's been my experience. But if your answer is no, AI will only amplify your confusion and it will stress you out. It will stress your business. In fact, sometimes you will bleed money as a business because of AI adoption. You will bleed money and time. So your goals need to be clear. Fuzzy goals, unclear processes, and undefined outputs lead nowhere. That is what you need to do. So it is the age. I mean, this is the age of AI is not about the technology. It's about your clarity. The technology is here, but you need to move from where you are to the future. Think future, don't think present. Benchmark with tomorrow, not with today. Get clear, define success, build teachable system, then AI will accelerate you toward that vision. Clarity over capability always. Thank you so much for being a very good audience, for being a wonderful audience. I'm grateful for the opportunity. Questions, insights, let's talk, let's gist AI. I love talking about AI. Hit me up, jerryageni@gmail.com, and then let's cook up something together. I've got a bit of free time on my hand. So it's been a pleasure once again. Thank you all so much, and God bless you. Have a wonderful, nice event today. Goodbye.
What they're doing right now and all of that. And we have two special guest appearances here in our midst. Okay, two special guest appearances, and these two men are the men are all dear in my life, and all of that. So before they come, we're going to take a 10-minute talk from someone I call my associate. All right, so you're going to know why I call him my associate and all of that. So it's going to take 10 minutes to give a talk. I'm going to read more like his profile. And it's a young man with a vision. Like I told you, at the age of 14, that was when I had my first platform at secondary school, GSS 3. That was when I had my first platform to speak to quite a number of persons on the assembly ground. And this is his first speaking engagement, and I'm proud to bring him to my platform to speak. He's not on the flyers, and it's not on the roll-up banner or what have you. And it's someone I believe so much in, a young man full of vision, full of zeal, full of a whole lot of boldness and confidence, and he's self-driven, self-motivated with quite a number of things. And after this talk, you will definitely know what I'm talking about. All right, so Ivan Jubril is a 13-year-old Christian entrepreneur, author in the making, and motivational speaker with bold philosophy. Hunt or be hunted. He believes that success doesn't come to those who wait, but to those who take action with faith, focus, and discipline. Driven by a passion to inspire his generation, Eva shares powerful insight on mindset, leadership, and purpose, showing that age is never a limit to greatness. Through his business ideas and motivational talks, he encourages young people to dream big, work hard, and put God first in everything they do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my own associate, my own friend and brother, Ivan Jubre. Let's keep clapping as a comfort for just 10 minutes. All right, let's celebrate him this afternoon. All right, thank you, Ivan.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Pastor Phil for giving me this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. Thank you very, very much. All right, so how's everybody doing today? Are you guys good? Do you enjoy your Saturday? All right, let's just hop directly into it. So today I will be talking about the power of selling. So we're just going to hop right into what is selling. I'm going to push this forward. So selling isn't just about money or products. It's more of energy and belief and connection, right? So when you are selling, you don't only sell products, you sell emotion. Now, when you sell emotion, you also sell something called hope. And when you sell hope, it gives you that feeling that what you're buying, you can gain from it. Because we don't buy things that we don't gain from. So anybody that is selling to us, if they don't sell hope to us, we're not going to buy their products. So first of all, the thing they're going to put in your head is what you need. And we buy things that we need. And sometimes we buy things that we want. And that satisfies the hope in us. So when you sell, you don't just sell products, you also sell hope. Now, I'm going to dive into the types of selling. So you can see selling of goods and services right here. Selling of goods and services. Then we have selling of hope, which I've talked on. Then we have selling of yourself. Then we have selling your skills and selling emotion. Now, I've talked on selling of goods and services and selling of hope. So I'll talk on selling yourself. Now, when they talk about selling yourself, they're talking about selling your attitude, your character. Anytime you apply for a job, you're not only dropping your CV there, you're dropping yourself. You're going to see your confidence, first of all. You're going to see how you speak. You're going to see your character. If you smile, if you're mean, if you're not mean. What you are doing right there, you are selling yourself. So when you sell yourself, you give out an impression. All right? Then you sell your skills. Now, personally, I believe that everybody has a skill within them. What brings out your skill is something called hard work and determination. So when you stay with your skill, no matter what, you can always make money from your skill. That's one thing I feel that anybody can bring money out of. Then we have selling of emotions, which I've also talked about. You need to learn how to sell yourself as a person that's happy. You need to sell yourself as a person that's bold for people to buy it. That's why some salesmen, some saleswomen, people don't really like them. They don't buy their products. Not because the product is not for them or the person doesn't need the products. It's because the person that's selling the product to them hasn't sold their emotion enough for them to buy it. So when you sell hope and emotion with your product, it makes it almost 100% for the person you're selling to buy. So when you sell goods and services with your emotions and hope, you can always win a deal. I remember when I traveled to Orlando, almost everybody there wanted to sell something to us. They were using this, some called selling of hope. They would say, oh, I love Nigerians. They never fail to buy this stuff or buy that stuff. But those are all strategies. They just wanted to get into your head so that you can buy that product. So, for my next slide. So I'm going to give you a talk on my experience of selling toys. So there was a time in my life where at home, I didn't really have the use of all these my old toys. And I just had an idea to take them to a place and sell them. So on the first day, now this is when I learned hard work and consistency when it comes to selling. On the first day, nobody really wanted to buy, but I kept giving the impression of hope that there was a need for that product. And remember what I said, that when you sell hope and your services, there's a higher chance to buy. Sometimes it might not come immediately, but if you keep pushing at it, people will buy from you. You will eventually sell. So, when I was selling, nobody at first bought until I keep giving them an impression of hope. Keep telling them, he can do this, he can do that. And they now bought into it. And very soon I started making little amounts of money from just coming home back with 1,000. Now some other days I made 10,000 a day, I made 20,000 a day. All from selling of hope. And it's very easy when you have products. Now, this idea, when they wrote Gucci Chocks, I'll explain it to you. So I was at home, right? And then I told my mom that there are these chocolates I want to sell. Since I already had a business that was just like a little business that I was selling in school. I said that there's these chocolates I want to sell. And she was like, what price are you selling them to? They were very, very tiny chocolates. And I said, I wanted to sell each of them for 1,000. She was like, for very small chocolates, that's really expensive. I now told her that a brand like Gucci and a brand like Tommy Hilfiger, they are so expensive, but to be honest, they're just ordinary t-shirts. It is the brand name that gives them that expense. It is the name that you give them. That's why you buy them. So they are not different from any normal shirt that you wear. Any shirt that doesn't have any brand. There are no difference. But when you give them a name, when you give them hope and give them a reason to buy, the price of that thing goes up. And you won't believe that that day, I sold up to 20,000 naira in a day just smelling those small chocolates. It all comes from the idea of giving a name, brand, and giving them hope. So now, this is a part where a lot of Nigerians, we fail to, this is why sometimes we're lower than other people. We are so afraid to just get out there. If you read the slide, it says, even though it is hard to start, anytime you have an idea, don't shrink or hide it. Express it. You must express it. The first way to express any idea you have is to first of all write it down. That's why if you're coming from any conference or anything, you must have a notebook. First of all, take down your ideas. Then second of all, study it. You must be able to reflect on it. Something called meditation. You must be able to go through it. You must be able to go over it. Third thing is, do research about it. We have the internet, just like Mr. Jerry said, we have AI. Use it to your own advantage. Use it to build your ideas. Sometimes take some money out. Do some investments on your idea. Every idea means something because ideas are not easy to get. It takes crazy brainstorming to make businesses. It takes time. So when you get an idea, don't just say, oh, it's just this idea, it's just that idea. Make sure you think about it. Make sure you work on it. Do research about it. The fourth one is to work towards it. Make sure you are working towards your idea. Make sure you are being active, being active about it. The fifth thing is taking full action. That means going all in. Taking your money, investing in it. Don't take all your money, just take a part of it, invest it, work on it, do everything you have to do to make that idea bold, and that idea will eventually come up. So, one of my last points here is enjoy it. When you have money, it is not for you to suffer or for you to be managing. Sometimes just let go. Enjoy your money. Go out with your friends, have fun, go to a cinema, watch a movie. That's how to really enjoy your life. That's how to feel fulfilled. Sometimes take out some time, read your Bible, just relax. Don't always be on your toes. You mustn't always just be on your toes to be seen. When you have money, don't just force yourself into that managing state. Enjoy yourself. If you see a phone that you know you can afford, buy it, have fun, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. Life is not for suffering. So I have a YouTube channel that I want you guys to go and subscribe to. Just part of my slides. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for your time. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Phil.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Can we give a round of applause for Ivan one more time? Ivan is 13 years old. and he came in the company of his father. And two special guest appearances, just like I told you. One person is someone I hold dear into my heart. He's my pastor, he's my mentor. As a matter of fact, I met him at the age of 14. And next week, Wednesday, off camera, next week, Wednesday, it's my birthday, I'll be 44. So, I've been with my pastor for 30 solid years. You know, like I said in one of my posts on Instagram, that people come into your life for different reasons, for different purposes. One for a season, one for a reason, and some for a lifetime. So your ability to be able to decipher who and who need to take certain place in your life, the earlier the better. All right, so right now we're going into more like a short talk also from one of our special guest appearance before Dr. Sam Ibrahim comes up also for a special guest appearance. Then we go into our panel session. Then after that, we take the last session recorded on legal compliance, on how to get started in business, in anything you're doing in life, and all of that. So let me read this, all right? Habu Jubri is a head of people and organizational development at INGO here in Nigeria. He controls 2 countries, Nigeria and Syria alone. Human resource and organizational development expert with 20 years of work experience in INGO, financial services, consulting, electromedical sectors, including provision of HR support to various NGOs as SMEs. Self-starter with strong interpersonal and team-building capabilities, ability to communicate effectively while able to adapt logical and analytical approach to problem solving effectively, all right? And he has successfully participated and pioneered the implementation of strategic imperatives that have led to significant improvement in organizational performance. Please, with standing ovation, welcome my pastor, my mentor, my instructor, Abu Jubri. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Please, let's be seated. Thank you very much. And thank you, Pastor Philip. Yes. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm supposed to speak about careers and all of that. Thank you very much, Ivan. I thought that was brilliant and excellent. Well done, well done, well done. Well done, thank you. Pastor Philip has been mentoring Ivan for several years. They used to be very close and discuss, so they call themselves associates. So I thought that was good for Pastor Phil to be the person to give him his first platform. He has been begging me for a platform to speak, but I didn't believe enough. But his associate believed enough in him to trust him with his platform. So between both of them, I don't know how they will judge the performance and all of that, you know. So I'm supposed to speak on career. The first thing I want to talk about is a lot of people think that there are no jobs. I've been a HR person, he said 20 years, but maybe for about 25 years, cutting across. I've been director of corporate services for a bank for close to 12 years. I've been in HR consulting. Right now, I lead people and culture for an international NGO and all of that. Now, a lot of times, what I hear people, they say, I'm looking for a job. The truth is that there are jobs that pay the kind of money people want to earn, but it's just that there are no existing skills to match that job. When we're driving, I was just reflecting. I didn't want to exaggerate. Currently, I have about 5 positions. I'm looking for the skills. I've not found the skills. I have one of those positions. It will pay between 35 and 40 million naira per annum. I have 4 of those other positions that will pay between 25 and 30 million naira per annum. But I am looking for the skills. So if anybody tells you that there are no jobs out there, he's not telling you the truth. At every point in time, the kind of job you are looking for exists. The kind of money you want to be paid. I used to call some salary arm robber salary, where if you get your salary in a month, it is not an alert, it is an alarm. It can drain your battery. But the first thing I want to talk about, why do you guys were not prepared for me? So since I'm not in church, I will not rant. But if I'm in church, I will use 5 minutes to rant now. Because I'd already told you guys I need a flip chart. And so this is it. The first question is that why do organizations recruit people? Why? There are CEOs here. There are business owners here. If you go into their head, they have a reason why they recruit people. I believe in teaching the obvious. So I will just quickly explain why organizations recruit people. For every organization you see, maybe Apple, maybe Alphabet, the mother company of Google, maybe Microsoft, maybe Nestle, maybe Dangote. These are all organizations. I remember just before I got my current job in 2018, Dangote offered me a job as general manager HR for 18 million naira then. So why do all these organizations employ people? You need to understand that these organizations have a mission. A reason why they exist. Some of them, they want to make profit, and some of them, they don't want to make profit their role. Some of them, they don't want to make profit. Their role is to make an impact. If they are an INGO, they want to just impact lives. They want to change lives. Some of them, they really want to make profit. They want to make profits. They want to make profits. They want to make profits. Apart from their mission, the reason why they are existing, some of them, they also have a vision where they want to be, a mental, invisible picture of an actual future. Now, for them to achieve these things, they now have what they call a structure. Because without a structure, they can't achieve their vision, they can't achieve their mission. Please follow this story. It's very powerful. If you understand this story, you will know why a lot of people are struggling to find jobs. So in that structure, they will have somebody here they call a CEO or an MD. Then they have other boxes. Maybe a chief marketing officer, a chief operating officer, down to an accountant, down to an IT officer. The purpose of this structure is to help them achieve their vision and their mission, because everything affects everything. I'll say that again. Everything affects everything. The skill of this man will be helping this man. What this man is doing will be helping this man. What this man is doing is helping this man. They are all collaborating, all in a bid to achieve the vision and the mission. So these boxes are not useless boxes. They are boxes that have technical and person specification. So every job description you see, every advert you see, those adverts are derived from these boxes. Am I making any sense? So for serious-minded organizations, and those are the kind of places you want to work, they are looking for the people that fit these boxes. They are not looking for people by connection. Even if you will enter by connection, you must have the capacity to deliver. Any organization that has a box like this and recruiting people by connection, even if they can't deliver, it should get ready to die. Because all you will be doing will be rewarding incompetence. So for that reason, and all of these organizations exist in different industries, in different sectors. What you need to ask yourself, which industry do I want to work? Which sector do I want to work? What do I want to get out of that? And begin to build skills. Begin to build experiences. Even if you need to pay to get the experience, because there's something, it's what's written on your CV that matters. Please, am I making any sense here? Huh? All right. So let's do something. Where are you now? Thank you. So this is you. Right? Where are you now? In terms of your skills. And what is skill? Skill is the ability to solve a problem. The ability to do something. Where are you now in terms of your experience? Where are you now in terms of qualifications? Where are you now in terms of knowledge? You must do a personal audit, a current state assessment. If you find out where you are now, don't be ashamed, don't be worried. It shouldn't cause you to be depressed. The job you want is here. The gap between where you are, your analysis should show you the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It is called a gap analysis. The skills you need here, the experience you need, the job you need, some of these things you can't job them. It takes time to gain the experience. You will suffer a little bit. I used to tell people that I was working under a particular woman, and this woman was very, very harsh, impatient. You could quote her as being wicked, but it wasn't new to me. Other people were complaining. I was the only person that was smiling. I was the only person that was bearing. Do you know why? Because I have ever worked, about 5 years before I worked with her, I worked with another woman who I nicknamed quietly in my heart, the Mad Queen. This woman dealt with me to the point that my eyes swelled up and I had surgery on my eyes. It's part of the experience. I used to share in church where I worked with a CEO in this Abuja, and I would go to work at 8 a.m. By the time I get back home at 3 a.m., my family is sleeping. By the time they are going out at 8 a.m., I'm still sleeping. And I'll do a whole week, I will not talk to my wife and my children. Why? Because I'm working with a CEO. All of those things, they look negative, but they formed my experience. I know what it means to work with a chief executive. I'm just giving you example of experience. So between where you are now and where you want to be able to earn the kind of money you are, you must know the skill you need for that kind of job. The jobs that are high paying, the people are not there, they are not sitting down there tapping their legs. There is a skill they have. There is a knowledge they have. There's an experience they have. There's a qualification they have. If you don't have it yet, you must work towards having it for you to be able to be in that position. I keep saying it. Good jobs are not scarce. They are looking for, because there's a role I have now in my organization. That role, without exaggeration, I've been looking for somebody for 3 good years. I've not found. 3 good, and the salary is good. So it is not enough to put oil on your CV. It won't do too much good. It is better for your brain to be bringing out oil. So one of the most important exercises, and I know a lot of people don't like that because it throws up reality, is a gap analysis. The kind of money I want to earn, the kind of role I want to have, what are the skills necessary? What are the experiences necessary? What are the qualifications necessary? Now, if you have done that, you must also research. From what Ivan said, he said one of the things you must study, you must research. I have read the CVs of certain people and I wept because as a HR person, those CVs are not compelling. Your CV is your representative. Once you have done that, they don't see you first, they see your CV first. So your CV must tell a compelling story. An irresistible story that even if that CV does not fit the role, the person recruiting will want to see that person, because it has ever happened to me. I saw a CV and I looked at the CV. I said, it doesn't fit this role, but can we invite the owner of this CV and at least see this human being that has this record? Hear me. Ivan said, sell yourself. Your CV is an opportunity to sell yourself, to say something good about yourself. Research the best kind of CV. Your CV that will put the best foot forward. I've reviewed CVs of people. The first thing on their CV, this person has masters, he has PhD. The first thing he said, Tudunwada, nursery and primary school. I don't want to know your nursery and primary school. Tell me about your PhD. Tell me about your MSc. Tell me about your achievement. Push it in my face. Some people are too lazy to do a great job of writing a CV. If you will move from where you are in terms of your career, from where you are to where you want to be, you must first do a gap analysis, reduce it to a compelling CV, target the industry you want, make sure you have built the right skill and experience, and begin to push your CV there. Then you must study interview skills. There's a kind of interview that is called, some people call it scenario, some people call it competency-based, and most of the time, the question they ask you there is, tell me about a time. Because in human resources, we believe that people are product of habits. That what people have done before, they will repeat again. That past performance is a predictor of future performance. So at every point in time, you will hear that word. Tell me about a time when you worked in a team. Tell me about a time when you constructed a borehole. Tell me about a time when you were in a marketing role. You are not expected to speak from your experience, providing evidence. And when you are answering those questions, what you do, you use what we call the STAR method. You talk about the situation, you talk about the task, you talk about the action, and you talk about the result you achieve. That is the point. When you are answering interview questions, don't say we, because it's not we that is looking for a job. You always use what? I, because it's all about you. This is one of the places where you are expected to be very selfish. Ladies and gentlemen, without taking much of your time, thank you.
Can we appreciate my mentor, my pastor, my instructor one more time? You're not clapping. I say appreciate him one more time. You know, how I found my way to Abuja is through him. As a matter of fact, he was the one that, you know, that jackpot me, relocated me to Abuja. And we've come a long way. 30 years is not my. And you know, when I came to Abuja, I won't say I escorted, he accommodated me in his house for 1 year, 3 months. 1 year, 3 months, okay, in his house, gave me soft landing in the city of Abuja. Let's appreciate my pastor one more time. Let's celebrate him and appreciate him. Thank you. All right, so the next special guest appearance before the founders panel session, all right, for 10 minutes thereabout, is Dr. Sam Ibrahim. I knew Dr. Sam Ibrahim too at the age of 16, 17 in the city of Kaduna. And how many of you know Salem King? How many of you know Salem King? You know Salem King? This is Salem King's dad. All right, this is, oh, you say, wow. This is Salem King's dad and all of them. So he's a pastor, he's a social entrepreneur, he's a real estate guru, and you know, he does quite a number of things. He was in Heltel, he was in Globalcom, rose to the regional manager and all of that. So he's going to come, just give us a talk for like 10 minutes before we go into our panel session and all of that. So can we please welcome my mentor, Dr. Sam Ibrahim. Let's give a round of applause for him, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a privilege to be alive, and what a privilege to be here this afternoon. Yeah, okay. My slide is there, fine, thank you. I'm so grateful because Dr. Jibril has let me be coming back. I've not seen him for a long time, but I've been following him on the internet, following his pages. I also want to appreciate all our, facilitators. That's the new one. Nobody is the teacher again. Everybody is a facilitator. Because you are talking to me, I'm talking to you. I met Philip in Kaduna. I was very young. I didn't see him again until I found myself in Akure. I'm regional director for Globalcom in Akure, and I didn't know the place. I'm a typical northern boy. I found myself in the Yoruba Center. So he was there, and he was doing the same thing. I think very young. He was already gathering people and talking. I didn't see him again until we met again in Abuja. I'm not an Abuja person. I grew up all my life in Kaduna. Kaduna was a sweet city until now. But I'm here, and I'll just tell you my story and then just show you how to get started with this life. This life that God has given to us. There is nothing else we want God to do. He has given us this life, and we must live it, and we live it with intention and purpose. So I read pharmacy, and after pharmacy we did internship in the hospital, and my NYC was in a remote place in the village. And after NYC I asked myself, what next? I didn't sit with God, I sat with myself. I was 21 then. What next? And this is the question every young woman, every person must sit and do what is called a personal conversation. And ask yourself, what next? And all that came to me is that I want to be financially free. That was all. So I came and I said, hospital, I will not work in the hospital. Anything pharmaceuticals. In fact, for the past 25 years, I've not registered as a pharmacist. I've abandoned my certificate. I'm doing what's called sales and marketing. That's why this young man, this Evans Jibril, please, after this meeting, come and have to transfer 10,000 to your account just to go and drink. Go and eat pepper soup. When he was talking, I was just thinking of myself. When I was making this critical decision at 22 years old, you're only just 14. Do you know what's called sales? It's the engine of life. Oh. Buying and selling is life. If you don't have any job, go and buy broom and be selling and see if you cannot make money. Go and ask Mama Mekose whether he's ever poor in cash flow. He can never be poor in cash flow. Do you know why? Because he borrowed the oil, he borrowed the beans, he borrowed the firewood. Every day they can give him because he's into sales and marketing. If you want to own credit, if you want to become a credit worthy, enter into sales. People will give you their goods on credit. That's not my story anyway. So Evans, thank you so much. Can we just clap for this young man? And with Pastor Philip, I promise I also mentor you in sales and marketing. Because that's what I'm doing for life. So I work for a pharmaceutical company that stumbled into fast-moving consumer goods because I want to be in the market. I was limited only to health sector. It was limited. Listen to my story. From then, we just stumbled into telecommunication. I was like this, I didn't go one-on-one for 12 years. It taught me how billionaires think and how they work. I will be working in this country for 3 months. I can't see my family. I'm in Maiduguri. Every Friday I have to fly into Lagos. Every night I have to fly back because we were talking business. He talked about consistency. The secret of life is consistency. And then, but I was making a lot of money. Salary was 45 million naira per annum. We had so much money, but I was broke. I was earning salary, I was broke. Do you know why I was broke? Because all I was getting was salary. I had no any idea. All I have, I was just selling telecoms. I rose to the top. I became head of business north when I was churning in 4 billion every month. I couldn't sleep, but I was broke. And again, I sat with myself, what is the way out? And I had it in my spirit. The only reason why you are broke is because all you are doing is working for someone. When will you wake up and get value? I had for them, go and increase in capacity so that you can be valuable. A man who is invaluable can never be poor. A man who is invaluable is in control of his time. And that value will convert into money. Okay. Someone should come and help me so that I can get to the end. Okay. Yeah. What do you want? It's not what I want. It's not what your parents want. What do you want? My father sent me to school to study pharmacy because he was an old drug seller. I said, Baba, here's your certificate, but I'm not going to get involved in drug, pharmaceutical, because to me it's limited. I want to be in the market to do what's called buying and selling. I was a pharmacist. I was selling Lucozade Boost and Ribena. But I was the best. So what do you want? And this thing is a personal discussion with yourself. What do I want? These are the 4 powerful questions. Nobody will answer for you. But today we'll deal with what? The remaining why. Somebody has spoken about it. That spoke about it. The remaining when and how. That one is left to you. But this what? We have to sit down and say, what do you want? Life, God gave you a slate of darkness. It's called empty. And he gave you a pen to write on it. Am I correct? Who will write the story of your life? You know what I believe I will say, Abraham blessings are mine. When will you talk about your own blessing? You are talking the story about Adenugu, you are talking the story about Dangote. When will you write your own story? When? Because God has given you an empty slate. You have to write your story. Nobody will write it for you. Have a deep discussion with yourself. Please, take it. I took a flight from here. I went to Dubai. I sat down for 1 week, and I was asking, what next? Just discussing with myself. Because, see, divinity is inside me. The things that God has handed over to us, let's not re-hand it over to him. He's asking you to ask yourself, what do you want? Sorry, please. Yes. The next thing is, this man is shooting, am I correct? He's aiming at something, am I correct? Can you shoot just for shooting? Are you not shooting at a target? This is that. When you're shooting for that, are you not focusing in a direction? Do you just close your eyes and throw that? That's what a lot of us do with our life. This man is doing on your mark, said go. Do you know how long he has been practicing? What do you think is on his mind? Gold medal. This man is not joking now. This is Usain Bolt now. For this 10 seconds race, he has practiced for 4 years. I can't fail, oh. Fail? No, I cannot fail. Me, I cannot. I am intentional. I planned for this meeting a long time ago. I came here very early because I am intentional about life. At this age, I'm still playing with life. See this woman. Look at the targets. Look at the target. So, what is it? What? Young man, what? That young man is 14 years old. At 17, I found myself in Ahmadu Bello University, 14. Zaria is 480 kilometers from my village. So I went there to play. It's possible. It's achievable. Go get it. There's nothing that is impossible. Nothing. There's nothing in this possible. The word impossible means impossible. It's achievable. See, whatever you are dreaming, when you have the whole criteria put together, it's achievable. Because it's achievable, go get it. How? Knowledge. I'm not talking about knowledge how to become a lawyer or how to become a medical doctor. No, knowledge of yourself, knowledge of what you want, and knowledge of where you are going. It's all on the internet. It's free. That degree you went to get to university, you just went to get it. You just want to go exercise your brain so that you can think well. When I talk about knowledge, it's not knowledge of anything. It's knowledge about yourself, who you are, knowledge of what you want out of life, and knowledge of how to deploy what you want. And the best way of knowing, I will tell you this, is that get a mentor. A mentor is a person you like and who is at where you want to be. I'm a pharmacist. I found myself in sales and marketing through mentoring. I met a man who has a PhD in pharmacology, and he was head of sales. I said, sir, you have a degree in pharmacology. How are you head of sales? He began to mentor me. This knowledge that you get is from mentoring. You also get knowledge from yourself, from your experiences. Don't play with those things. Go get knowledge. I told you from the beginning what the question, what I asked was that if you want to grow, if you want to succeed, get capacity and create value that can become attractive. Get knowledge. I'm about to close now. That young man that spoke, what's his name? Richardson. He quoted this book. This is my best author, Paul Kello, the author of The Alchemist. I encourage everybody here, young people, go get it from the internet and read it. He says, if you make up your mind to achieve anything passionately, the universe will conspire to help you. The universe. If you understand who the universe here in this context, to me, he's my God. Anything you make up your mind to do and you pursue it passionately, the universe will conspire to help you. When we were children, we used to stand on the road without money. We want to travel from Zaire to Kaduna, no money in your pocket, but somebody will come and give you a free ride. Anything you want to move and do, and it's passionately, you make up your mind, somebody somewhere will just appear to see you through. This is the book. Sorry. Wow. I want you to see the book. Okay, the book is called The Alchemist. Go get it. Yes. Get this book, it will help you. The book says the thing you are looking for in Sokoto is in your Sokoto. The gift God has given mankind is so much that He dwells in us. Therefore, anything you are looking for is inside of you. But we have to sit down and have a discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are unstoppable. I say this to myself every day 15 times. I came to Kaduna, I sat down, I began to move, I was soon close. And God gave me an idea. He said, all your friends all over the world, put them in one page. And all I'm telling them is this. If you are in Nigeria and you don't have a house of the property in Abuja, it is a sin. Come, I can help you. This thing has taken all my time and I'm making a hell of money. Anybody who is in Abuja who is not involved in estate, you are still sleeping, no? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Wow. I feel closer to the ceiling. Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. The energy is a little low. Please, can we just stand to our feet for a moment? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. I can still see some beautiful ladies sitting down. Some handsome gentlemen still sitting. Can we all rise to our feet? Thank you very much. Now,